comrades, today is April 13, 2026, and the current time is 1920. We believe all network issues have been resolved. If you or another comrade experience network issues within the Institute, please mark the location on your datapad so that we may identify the dead zones and install cat receivers. That concludes today's announcements.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Oh shoot, I forgot to turn on the iPhone. Hold on, give me a second. I need to turn this thing on so that I can actually be animated and actually move around and do things. For some reason, I've been actually getting pretty good at remembering to do this, but I think today I kind of forgot. Trust me, I am a professional streamer, as the kids like to say, and all that jazz. Anyways, good evening, comrades. How have all of you been? Did you enjoy your weekend? Are you able to relax, or is it a day of suffering and pain and whatnot that's going on? Welcome to Rimworld, the thing that we play sometimes, where things happen sometimes, and also there's a lot of things happening, like our wonderful little base that is slowly coming together. Slowly being the very operative word, because we're running into an issue that I like to call the Great Steel Deficit, and so I am doing my absolute hardest to get my hands on as much steel as I possibly can, because that's the only way we're going to be able to expand our little base. I have basically ripped apart every scrap of steel on the map, except for the slag chunks, which obviously we'll have to rip apart at some point, but other than that, we're running out of resources, and I don't really want to crack this thing open. Also, there's a mechanoid thing here that I really don't want to touch, because there's Scorchers and Cyclopses and Lancers, and I'm like, that's a thing we'll deal with later, so that's essentially where we're at. Anyways, how have you been? Hello, Gamer and Zoingo and Havel, and I know Immortal went to go disappear to drive, and thanks Goldenrod for the resub. I appreciate it very much. 21 months is crazy. And I think that's everyone who said anything so far in chat. Also, hello Airman Joker, there's another one. I do like the follow high emote is cute. That's adorable. I need to get a waving emote. I should get an emote like that too. But anyways, how are you doing? Thanks for the resub. I appreciate it. I went to go what you call it? I went to go shooting my bow yesterday, my Yumi, which was interesting because I had to drive nearly 2 hours to get to the place where we were shooting. And that gives you any idea of how far this place was. It was fun. Don't get me wrong, but boy, that drive is quite intense, and it's not a drive that I would recommend to most people. But if you're able to do it, more power to you. But I was like, okay. You request knowledge. Why do you require skill? Okay, so when was the last time you were here? I don't know if you were here at all for any part of this run, but basically the current run is themed around the fact that we are in a, for lack of a better word, think of it like a like it's an eternal winter, and we are trying our best to survive the eternal winter, and so it's quite spooky. And right now, when I say it's eternal winter, I mean, I don't know if you see it over here, but it's negative 30 degrees centigrade, so it's like freeze your nuts off cold. It's basically Frostpunk. Like this is for all intents and purposes a Frostpunk. We even have a little mod that has this thing called a generator that slowly upgrades over time, and so this generator will get stronger and stronger. Now it doesn't really output any heat, but it does produce energy, and energy is what fuels the rest of our colony. Now granted, we need a lot of energy, and so I've built multiple wind turbines that are perpetually at least producing a decent amount of energy, so at least we have something, but it's generally not enough. And just one day of anything breaking down or being raided, and our entire economy just completely collapses, which is not a very good thing, if I'm being honest. So that's kind of where we're at. Hello, Greywind. Straight up not a good time. Yeah, it's straight up not a good time right now. You might notice, again, we're trying to build this thing out here so we can have some protection. Basically, there's a defoliator here. I don't really want to deal with it, so I'm just gonna surround it and just... I'll deal with it later, is my philosophy. You can improve the generator, yes. So basically what we have right now is we have Ray and Zeoposer on a quest. Okay, and then over here there's another person that they're gonna go pick up. It's the researcher, and when we find him, he will unlock new options for the generator. Until then, we can just keep feeding more wood into the generator. This thing outputs about 6,000 watts of energy. which is it's okay. It's not crazy. But yeah, unfortunately, steel's kind of like our biggest issue right now. And right now, the only solution is I have this thing that's just digging out large amounts of metal. Now, the other solution that would be very nice if I can get the resources is I'd like to build a pulse drill. Now, this will more or less help us get as much steel as we need for the foreseeable future, but the problem is that this requires an initial investment of 400 steel, and 400 steel is something we do not have yet. So eventually we will, and you know, we'll be able to get this built out, but until then it's kind of a bit of a rough go. We don't have an orbital trade, mostly because I didn't set up the orbital thingy, and by the way, this is our food supply. You might notice that there's a lot of cans of soup, so our entire colony is very much soup-centric. We subsist on the soup, and we consume the soup, and we pray to the soup gods, and the soup gods will ensure that our colony survives anything that could potentially happen. That's right, we entirely subsist on soup, if that gives you any idea of how wacky this run is. And then these two are currently riding around in an APC that we have acquired, and they're just gonna saunter on over there until they get what they're looking for, and then we'll see what happens after that. They are also carrying like 6 to 8 package survival meals, so they have a lot of food. Like, they'll survive for a very, very long time. And that's kind of where we're at. I guess they woke up because Steve's on fire now. I don't know how they woke up. I guess they might have had like an automatic timer, so Steve's gonna die unless I can go rescue him. Which means I guess we gotta go rescue him. Unfortunately, a lot of our best fighters are currently not here, so... And I don't have any, like, crazy tools to really deal with this, so I'm just gonna save just in case this goes very poorly. I'm also just gonna summon Alana to just go in there and nab the poor fella. But it's looking pretty bad. Steve, thankfully, has a good amount of time to get rescued, so it's not the end of the world. But it's not gonna be easy. I did not build grenades because we don't have a lot. We have buckshot and assault rifles, which might be enough to at least maybe delay it. And thankfully, the way I angled this, it might be easy for us to get in there. Yes, I do love soup. I consume soup. I actually had soup yesterday. I had this Korean soup called I think they called it something. Oh jeez, I forgot that sun moves at half speed. I think they called it like king galbitang, I think is what it was. It was like this Korean, almost like, I don't know what you want to call it. Like, it was like a nice soup that was very, how do I best describe this? Very, very gentle and mild. Anyways, we're gonna see if we can go rescue, but I don't know how I'm gonna get in there. Especially because the main issue is that they have a Lancer, and I have to find a way to like bypass the Cyclopses, which all have crazy ranges, and Kefir's got a shotgun. I think okay, here's my plan. We're gonna have these guys stand here. I'm gonna have Alana like sneak around the back. It's the only way we can get over there. Might be able to sneak in and maybe do something, but there's not a lot of options when I don't have that many weapons, and Sun had the other weapon. Now there's a very real possibility that Steve can just crawl his way over here. Now if he can crawl his way to escape, that'd be the best option, but you know, who knows. Now the grandson's gonna take a few pot shots. Now I think they see him. Okay, there we go. So a couple shots, we might be able to just get some... Oh, actually, wait. They're not even moving. This might be okay. Hold on. We might be able to get Steve out of here. Or we might lose Steve, depends. As long as Sun can keep shooting, he's got a decent chunk of bullets. And he's got pretty decent aim, too. Yes. Keep grinding them down. Alright, I'm gonna have Alana just get over here. Come on, Steve, you can crawl. You can crawl. Do it. I believe in you. He's crawling as best as he can. Okay, I think... Hold on, I have an idea. Because robots don't get suppressed, unfortunately. I'm gonna have you hold fire, and I'm gonna have Alana just quickly run in there and just grab Steve. And I'm gonna hope this works and Alana doesn't get like gibbed. Okay, quickly grab the fella. Okay, good. All right, and then we're gonna quickly run over here. And then you two are gonna not go over there, and then you're gonna switch back to fire at will. And then we're gonna have you drop immediately and just tend to the poor guy right here, right now. You don't need medicine. You have God to your hands to handle this. Oh wow, we're actually knocking them out. How about you don't go there? Thank you. Okay, Steve's gonna survive. Steve's got an infection, but that's a different problem. Okay, so we actually did manage to get Steve out of there. So anyways, yeah. Hopefully, let's say, you need to fall asleep because you wake up. All right, have a good night, Wilhelm. Anyways, how have all you been? I was kind of rambling, but yeah, I went out to go do actual things yesterday. Like, I interacted with other humans. Be proud of me. Clap, please. Oh, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But it was kind of nice being able to hang out with some people, and because I hadn't actually shot my Yumi yet until yesterday, it was so nice to actually be able to finally get the opportunity to fire the bow that I had paid way too much for, is what I'm gonna say. So it was an experience. If you don't know what I'm talking about, essentially I practice Kyudo, which is Japanese archery, and I have my own bow, which is fantastic, but I wasn't able to really use it because I had left the school that I was a part of for reasons I'm not really gonna get into, but let's just say it's not fun reasons is the kindest way that I'm gonna describe it. And so yesterday was like my true first opportunity to actually use the thing, and it felt great. I think it felt wonderful to finally have that opportunity that I seldom get, right? And I think most people would agree. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Okay, we should probably undraft these guys. Just like, oh wait, hold on, it's just lancers, right? Hold on, where's my melee beaters? I'm gonna have, okay, you're not carrying any food. Okay, you can still fight. You can't fight. You have a gun. I guess that's workable. Let's get these guys to approach, and maybe we can just kill the lancer. Sun has no more bullets, so we're gonna have you run back. Abel's having a mental break, unfortunately. Maybe you don't go that direction. That'd be nice. Okay, and see if we can just kind of poke these guys down. Unfortunately, Kefir's also having mental break, and Kefir had my gun. Yeah, isn't it great breaching containment and actually interacting with humans? I tell you, it's kind of interesting being able to socialize. Like, who socializes in this day and age? Aren't we all supposed to just be indoorsy people who don't interact with others because we're all antisocial? Who is this shooting? Oh, shooting at Umi. Oh no. So I saw that bullet ready to go. Let's put these guys in here. The problem is, he doesn't have many more bullets left. He gets one more shot. Revolvers don't have a long range. But yeah. And then I basically woke up with a really massive headache, and I was very much considering if I even wanted to stream today. Like, unironically, like, it was super bad. I had not felt that bad in quite some time. But it eventually went away through the power of eating food and also caffeine. And then I was okay. Isn't that crazy how that works? Okay, we should be able to do this. I think I can just... Can I get the jump on this? These are actually kind of dying. Hold on. Maybe Nahil can aggressively shoot it down. Okay, so... Okay, you're gonna go back. There's one more target. It has very limited life. We can run up to it before it can stab us. It's not even shooting at us right away, which is also kind of interesting. So I can just sneak up and try to stab it with a gun, with a knife. Enough knife stabs, then it'll be fine. Or not. Okay, I may need... Okay, how about we cancel this? Cancel this. And then I want to start dismantling this entire thing. And then I'm going to need Sun over here again. Okay, you need to get bullets. Hold on. You need to refresh your munitions. I need Airman Joker, who is probably a better beater against mechanoids, over here as quickly as possible. I'm not sure if Nahil can stab a Lancer to death, but... Wait, well, if we beat it over the head with a log... This is stupid. It's not working. Okay. I don't know why I thought this was gonna work. It was not. This thing has taken no damage. It just left two people on the ground completely injured. Okay, and now it shot Umi. Okay, so now it's angry, which I guess makes sense. So now I have to... Okay, yeah, I may have made a mistake here. Oopsies. Let's have you everyone run over here. Okay, I did not expect that one single thing to just commit so much crimes. That's my own fault for not really paying attention. I thought I could speed 5 it. You should not have done that. Okay, because now Airman's dying. Can you quickly just pull him in here? Okay, go here. These guys aren't gonna die, but you will. So we're gonna run in here real fast. And then Sun's gonna try to run over here as quickly as possible. Even though he moves at half speed because he's missing a leg, and I keep forgetting to build a prosthetic to replace his leg. Also, is someone chatting in the YouTube chat? Why does it say, like, chat rate 1? I never understand that. Like, it always says, like, chat rate 1. Like, someone says something in there, but, like, I don't see a message. I wonder if it's spam messages that are being caught by a filter. Okay, so you drop at 0.6 hours, tend immediately. You might be okay. Umi's got 1 hour. Umi might die. No one's gonna get there fast enough is the problem. Lana's only 1. That thing's got an hour. This thing's killing everything. This thing's still got a lot of bullets left to go. Okay, 6 hours. Umi's got point. Okay, let's see if Alana can tend to Umi quickly. Try to keep Umi alive. Okay, fantastic. Okay, and okay, so that's what I was afraid of. Okay, so Alana's getting shot. Just run away. Try to bait the shots out. Sun's moving in. Now Sun try to shoot. As long as they're not gonna bleed out to death. Okay, then we're just gonna Alana run in there again and tend real quick. Just a stealth tend. Okay, fantastic. And then hopefully Sun can just shoot it down while we try to grind the... These people are gonna be out of commission for far longer than I would like, which is unfortunate. Okay, now Alana's dying. Okay, can you not die? Oh my god. This thing is like... This one Lancer is causing me so much grief. Yeah, this one Lancer is causing me like so much grief. It's a little ridiculous. Is it almost dead? How is this thing like causing so many problems? Okay. Tend? I don't know if we're fast enough here. Can you tend without medicine? Okay, I'm gonna reload this just mostly because I should have won that without all this hassle. Like, why is, like, this should not be this difficult, right? Like, am I crazy? Okay, so we're back here, right? So the way we did this is like we kind of had Sun park over here and then just kind of fire at them from afar. We're gonna have everyone else not go that direction. Stand over here. Steve will just kind of crawl his way over here. I'm gonna also do this other thing. Hold on, we're using, what bullets is this? 150 or 545. Oh, is this thing working yet? Okay, good. Okay, cool. So last time we were streaming this, there was a weird issue where if you clicked certain devices, the game would just lag uncontrollably. I had no idea what was causing it, but it seems to be fixed now. I don't know if someone's modded, corrupted something, but all I remember is like, wow, this is annoying, but thankfully seems to have gone away. Okay, we're just gonna carry. Oh, that's fine. Gonna have you pick up that much. You should not. Okay, you're fine. Okay, then we're gonna have Umi take all those bullets over here. I'm gonna undraft these guys. And then I'm just gonna have Sun just kind of poke and shoot from afar, and we'll have Umi bring in extra bullets. Okay, you might want to eat that soup real fast while you're at it. I know you can't. There you go. So now the idea is we're just gonna wait for them to show up out of cover, and then we're just gonna pepper them from afar, because why would we move up there when that is dangerous? We need to start making more guns. The problem is so many of our characters are melee fighters, which is not ideal. Except for Steve here, I guess, who's an actual gunner, but he's kind of knocked out, so that's kind of annoying. So I'm gonna have Umi come over here and just drop this here, and then you can go back. Maybe you don't eat your food in the line of fire. That'd be great. Okay, see, this is what happens every time I'm not paying attention. It's like, okay, someone accidentally walked... Okay, this is getting... Okay, this is a little fucking ridiculous. What is happening? They keep walking into fire. Oh my god, that's why, because it's a stupid... Okay, well, that explains a lot. How about we don't do anything like that? Because now I have to go rescue... Okay, you stop moving. Okay. Just gonna have you walk over here. Okay. Have you drop there. Then you're gonna go tend. Okay, then you're gonna get redrafted. Then we're gonna have you... Gotta go rescue your name now before he dies. Okay, so we're gonna have you quickly go in there and rescue. Okay. Hopefully we escape. Okay, good. Drop. Okay. Emergency tending. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot to turn on the toolkit. Here you go. If you want a toolkit, here's your toolkit. Now you can do your thing. I don't know why this thing has to get manually added every time. Okay, so you'll be fine. Okay, you don't you dare walk over there. Okay, so what's left? There's a Lancer, a Scorcher, and another Lancer, both of which are getting gunned down. Okay, Sun has run out of bullets. We're just gonna have him pick up all this. And then now Sun can continue the gunning adventure. Okay, you rescue, you undraft. And then you rescue. Okay. Okay, one more Lancer's down. There's at least one more Lancer, which is getting peppered away. Okay. Just one last threat, and we can finally be done with this obnoxious little engagement. Come on. Okay, cool. So then I'm gonna have you... Okay, so now we can have everyone do what they need to do. Steve is gonna be okay as soon as he gets tended. Okay, you wanna... Not... Okay, you're already tending. Fantastic. Okay, you do that. I have Airman Joker. Walk over here. I need this thing beat up. Who's dying of an emergency? Okay. Alright. Wow, that's a lot of infections. Steve has just like a bajillion injuries. Look at this poor man. Infections in his torso, his shoulders, the right leg, the left hand, the left thumb. Everything is just coming apart. That's not good for him. Although we can at least rip these apart too. So we're gonna have you, I don't know, beat this thing up. I don't remember if the defoliator ships explode or not, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out in a second. He's still got a lot of bullets. Actually, no, we're gonna need you here. Undraft you, have you beat this up. Okay. Much easier to just destroy this with melee weapons than the other way I was planning on doing this. Okay. Come on. Please don't explode on me. This should just be a very simple... Okay, we did it. Okay. We're free. Okay, that was way more annoying than it needed to be. Undraft you, undraft you. You have toxic... What do you mean there's toxic buildup? Oh, wait. Oh, does being next to the defoliator ship cause toxic buildup now? I guess that would make sense, right? When are we getting a new Rimworld DLC so I'm forced to play vanilla again? That'll be the real question. Actually, speaking of games, this is completely unrelated to what anyone cares about except me, but one of my favorite board games, right around the time of the tariff apocalypse last year, this board game company that I really enjoy called Greater Than Games more or less announced that they were getting shuttered by their parent company, right? And one of their board games was essentially like a remake of another board game that I really enjoy, called Sentinels of the Multiverse. And thank goodness today they got announced that, hey, we're being bought out by the company that does our digital version of our board game, so we're not dead, we're gonna come back to life. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a literal miracle in this day and age. Power keeps cutting out, these things studying for class, which requires electricity to pause for evening. Yeah, you might need electricity to study. Or do you? Or do you? Maybe you don't, I don't know. Hopefully your classes are going well and you're not suffering too much. But yeah, I was very surprised. They announced like, yeah, so we're okay, we're coming back, just, you know, be patient, we'll announce what's actually going to happen at the end of the month, just, you know, please wait. And I'm like, all right, I am excited to see where this is going, because goodness, I have been waiting for something good to happen, especially in the board gaming space, because last year, like, the board gaming industry took like some pretty massive hits because of all the stuff that was ongoing. So for it to finally be, you know, freed from all that disaster is great. This is a very, very long road trip is all I'm going to say. These two have another supposedly 4.4 days to go, but I think it's going to be a lot longer than that. Zeopos is also, like, apparently too cold now, which is weird. He's got the same gear that everyone else has. Oh, he doesn't have the cloak. Is he actually too cold without the cloak? Maybe. Maybe he will be. In which case, I don't know. They'll have to do their best to survive, but it's going to be tough. It says you need warm clothes because we are approaching autumn. And autumn implies pain and suffering that we're not going to be ready to handle. So the only thing I could really do at this point is try to make sure everyone's injuries are going to be tended. We also don't have a lot of medicine. We actually converted a lot of our crop production into herbal meds because I knew we were going to have this issue. We don't even have a hospital yet in the colony, so it's another thing that I also have to worry about is, like, where am I going to put an actual hospital for our colonists? And so I think initially my plan was to convert this schoolroom into a hospital at a later point. But I'm trying to also avoid that if I can. You might also notice we have a lot of chem fuel because that's a lot of... Our colony runs on poop. Is the easiest way for me to describe what is happening. Our entire colony subsists on matter that is of that nature to function. So we also have this entire thing, which I can destroy, but I don't really feel like it due to the various traps that are in here. So I've kind of just been ignoring it. Also, you might notice a lot of wild animals. Thankfully, there's some time for us to kill some fresh food. Also, there's a wild elk that we gotta deal with now. You know what? It's time for Kefir to go deal with this. Let's switch you to buckshots. Let's see if we can have... okay, your name's about to get mauled to death by an elk. Shoot this. Fantastic. Okay, that's food. And then we can have Lana rescue this other poor fellow. Okay, let me continue my story. So, Greater Than Games was bought out by Handelabra, which was the ones who make their virtual game, their digital version of the game, which is fantastic. If you don't know, it's basically the game Sentinels the Multiverse. It's a cooperative, fixed deck game. You basically take on the role of a superhero, kind of like a riff on like Marvel and DC and all that stuff, and then you work cooperatively to take down, like, you know, the villain and all that. And it's a lot of fun. It's like me and my playgroup's like favorite board game, and I'm just so happy that the game is not dead and that it's actually gonna continue into the future, which kind of is surprising considering I had basically been ready to just write it off as it's just dead. But thankfully it's not. Also, I think I remember why I made a prosthetic leg, and I forgot that I accidentally sold it. So we have to go make a new prosthetic leg because I am very smart. Okay. With this much materials, I think I can justify building a... the Pulse Drill Mark 1, which I'm gonna just kind of dump all the way out here. And the reason for this is that I think there's actually a chance that this is gonna call in bugs if you're not careful, so I want to make sure... Wait, Steve died? How did he die? Wait. Oh, the tend quality wasn't high enough. Okay, so the shoulder infection... Okay, if it wasn't the shoulder, it was going to be the leg. And if it wasn't the leg, it was going to be the... Yeah, okay, so Steve's dead. Okay, so there's our second death. I'll accept that death for me not triaging properly. More unfortunate part is that he had a lot of good stuff on him, including a really good reconnaissance battle cloak, which I'm just gonna have him take that off because I think someone's gonna need to put that on. He may be dead, but you know, we need him. We need his stuff. Okay, just because he dies doesn't mean we can't salvage what he was. I need more gunners. Everyone in this colony sucks at shooting. Gosh, he's better as a melee fighter. This entire colony is just falling apart. I need my two super soldiers to come back. 3 days to travel through the ice sheet and the flat ice. Oh my goodness, it's gonna take forever. How much longer is it gonna take for them to arrive? That's the real question. He's also getting really cold, but he's not suffering from... He's not suffering from what's it called? Hypothermia, which is what I care about. Let's get everything prepared. We're gonna have to bury our dearly departed. All right, so there goes Steve. He fought valiantly. If only it wasn't for my dumb mistakes that got him killed. Let's just quickly do this. Strip the body, and then bury the poor guy. And then congratulations to Comrade Your Name, who is being elevated with an assault rifle. Because I need someone to have assault rifles, and this is probably the best person I can have. Yeah, you get a rifle kit. Rearm yourself with the gun of your dead comrade. It's the only way. Okay, then we'll quickly run a funeral. Okay. Oh. But anyways, yeah, so... Like I was saying earlier, I woke up with like a really bad headache. Thankfully, it went away with the power of caffeine and food. I think it was because I just didn't have a lot of sleep yesterday, because I was essentially out from what's it called? Like from like all the way from 10 a.m. to like almost 8 p.m. 10 hours of just being away from home, which was kind of crazy. And I might be doing this like every other Sunday from now on, which is also kind of insane. Why did this caravan stall? Keep going. You're not allowed to stall. You have to keep moving. Yeah, man. If I have to, I will shove Zeoposer into the somewhere, and hopefully that'll be fine. But I need them to move. Yeah, it's a long drive. You just... Oh my gosh, Kiffer's having a heart attack. What do you mean? He's 28. Why is he having a heart attack? Hello? Wait, what? Oh, right, he's got an artery blockage. Okay, he's got a... Okay. Can we keep tending to this? How does this work? I thought just wait until the heart... Okay. We cured the heart attack. Brother in Christ, you're 28. Why are you having a heart attack? You shouldn't be having a heart attack so young. Oh, geez, I dropped a bunch of frames, didn't I? I just looked. Holy cow. Twitch, please. How many did I drop? 2,517 frames. What is that? 2517, divide that by 60 frames a second, so about 40, about almost 42 seconds. Fantastic. Hello, Nihil. How are you, comrade? All right, how do we cure his heart problem? I guess the only solution is to just give him a new heart, which is a little difficult, so we can't do that right now. Yeah, we can't exactly give him a new heart at the current time, so we'll have to worry about that and do eventually. Yeah. Hell, you see the Rimpoke Frostworld. It hasn't died, but we did lose another person today, which is also very unfortunate. People die tragically constantly in this colony because there's just all sorts of nasty things. It's too hot. It is really hot. You're right. Not in the game, but in real life. Also, hi, Comrade Katya. How have you been? How has it been being a demonic creature? 25C. What is that in freedom units? Is that like about 25C would be... I think 25C is about like 80. What happened to spring? No, you skipped spring and you went straight to summer. How does it feel skipping an entire season? That's right. You got to skip an entire season. I also have a disdain for the rapid weather shift. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's driving me nuts too. It just needs all the other stuff. Okay, hold on. One's on a mental break because he doesn't have all this stuff, which is fine. People are still sleeping in the weird barracks that I haven't set up properly yet. We're still trying to get the bedrooms properly assigned. Actually, hold on. This one I'm gonna assign to Havel, and then this one we're gonna assign to who's dead? Who's here? Sun. All right, we'll give this one to Sun. Okay, so at least we have more bedrooms being assigned. You think you're showing your desert dweller tendencies? I don't know. Maybe, because I can't stand certain levels of... Oh my gosh, it's negative 50 centigrade. Okay, we gotta get the heater up and running in here now. Okay, so we need... I think we're using standard steel radiators. Oh wait, we can use slate for the radiators. We might use slate. It saves about 10 steel each, which is not bad. You just need enough to ensure that we're not going to freeze to death here. And then we have to run the pipe, which is the heating slate pipe, which thankfully I did actually hook it all up together in my genius. Some writing shenanigans that are plaguing your brain. Are you planning on writing a novel, web story, something? Visual novel? You could be like Ray, who's currently obsessed with reading visual novels all the time. That's like her entire shtick right now. It's just like, what VN is she reading today? Okay, so the funeral was good. Excellent. Let's keep this going. Also, look at all these dead bodies that I guess we could have stripped for parts, but I honestly didn't care enough to. I guess this one's got beer. This one's also got beer. This one's got medicines. I should probably check all the corpses real quick. Grab that. I have Loot Pinata turned on, so that's why, you know, you're not really seeing the items drop anymore. It's just one VN. It's just one. Okay, fair enough. The Raiders still need a heating pack. Did I miss one? Oh, yes, you're right. Yes, thank you. Good catch. I forgot these walls got installed a little after I had installed the previous ones. So we'll get that built out. Although the problem is I don't think we have a lot of people who can build in the current in the colony. We got Umi, who's like the main one, who's hauling this much steel is quite difficult. And we're being raided by another mechanoid group. You've got to be kidding me. All right, there's Lancers now. I have 2 people with guns that can handle this. Okay. Are they attacking immediately? They'll prepare for a while, then attack. Great. I don't have an easy way to deal with this, other than just try to poke them from afar and hope they approach, and then we stab them when they get too close. Apple, you draft, you draft. So we're gonna have your name just kind of poke at them. They're not reacting, thankfully. Maybe with enough firepower, we can probably knock them out. There we go. Every bullet that hits them is another bullet that we're saving. I'm just gonna have Havel run around the side here, approach this angle. Yeah, one that could be a novel and one that just kind of happened. Ah, gotcha. Okay, Havel's here. Airman's here. Sun is moving over here because Sun moves slowly. So far, so good. This one's down to 51. 41 is good. You have some bullets left. As long as there's enough shots to keep going. Well, hopefully you'll be... I don't know if you're going to share what you write, but, you know... I think sharing writing is always a good way to get feedback on it and see what could... You know, how you could make it... You know, how you could improve or change things up. I know there's like a VTuber out there who... Some of you already know... Did actually start publishing her own... I guess web novel on Royal Road the other day, which is kind of interesting. Your name's about to run out of bullets, and he's about to have a mental break, which would also be not ideal. Just come on, a couple more shots. Just gotta hit him a few more times. Maybe. Come on. We're gonna have Sun poke around the side here. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna have you run away. Get into cover. Okay, your name's having a mental break, literally to no one's surprise. Okay. Have you stand over here. I want it to approach us. Okay. The mechanoids are becoming a bit of a problem. Okay. Pivot you here. You got shot in the jaw, but you still have your jaw. Then I'm gonna pivot you here. Stop moving. Goodness gracious, the amount of suppression is driving me crazy. You stay here. You stay here. You stay here. Okay. I need to find a better way to deal with these mechanoid raids. I don't really have a lot of good options because I didn't set up like a great big defensive perimeter, but maybe I should start investing in one at some point. Okay, so as soon as they get too close, then I'm gonna have Sun start blasting. Okay, then you need to pull back. I don't have smokes either. Smokes would be the solution. Okay, we did it. Okay, that was annoying. But you're not sure they're... Okay, if it's that type of content, then yeah, I don't know where you'd share it. I don't want to make assumptions of what the content is, but based on that statement, I think I can make a guesstimate of what it would be like. Yeah. Anyways, you're accustomed to 1110 or 43C, and you don't consider hot until 95. Okay, so to me, like 80F is already hot, and I would be cooking alive. Now, granted, that's not to say that I'm incapable of surviving said temperatures. I just would prefer if it was different temperatures and not nearly that hot, if that makes sense. Oh, we're out of food. Oh my goodness. I guess we just haven't had... Wait, who's our... Oh, we haven't had a chance to cook food. Kefir's normally the cook. Okay, so how about this? How long until the next soup batch is ready? Oh, wait, this one's... Oh, I see the problem. Okay. Because no one's been willing to sit here and, like, actually grab the soups out of here. So why don't we do this? And then we're going to have Alana cook a couple more pots of soup. Where's Portland? Why would I move to Portland? What's there for me in Portland? No, I don't want it to just be raining all the time. That sounds awful. At that point, you're just in Britain, and it's just depressing and gray all the time. And that just doesn't sound fun at all. That just sounds awful. You like rain? I like rain in limited quantities. I can't handle that much rain. I think I'd go crazy. All right, there we go. There we go. Look at all this soup that we have ready to cook now. So at least we have food. These two are still on their way. Another 2.2 days and they'll be at their destination. I'm not gonna move to Oregon. Nah, Oregon ain't for me. Oh my gosh, a psychic drone is affecting all the men in the colony. And they're slowly going more crazy as the time passes. Great. Those are words that I don't like to see. Okay. Your goth soul yearns for the constant rain. Wouldn't the constant rain just ruin your makeup though? Isn't that what would happen instead? Okay, here we go. Now we're getting this slapped out. Come on. We're so close to getting this thing set up because this thing is not producing that much material. I suppose there's going to see this later on both. Other than that, you enjoy getting descriptions of pain and violence. Ah. Well, in that case, I don't know. Like, if you think it's appropriate to share, then feel free. But if you don't think so, then I'd say use your best judgment. I'm not here to judge what other people write. I've seen what people write out there. I know the websites. There's a lot of weird stuff out there. Yeah. Don't worry. I think we're going to stop producing. I think we have enough herbal meds now, right? No, my writing isn't cursed. My writing is very normal. I can't believe I'm being gaslit into thinking that I write weird stuff. No, a lot of stuff that I write is very much just normal content. Is it weeby? Yeah. In fact, I remember distinctly when I was in high school, I wanted to get into like NaNoWriMo and write like fantasy, like a fantasy light novel. I still have that stuff where it is. It's very weeby, and so it will never ever see the light of day ever again. But it exists. You know, we all have our sins that we try not to let others really read. There's just sometimes things that you just can't ever talk about, and you know that's just how it be. No. There's some other stuff. There's other stuff that has never been written. No, the runs on Royal Road are there. That's not that weeby. No, there was even weebier stuff, and it wasn't sus. It was just weeb. Okay, there's a big difference between being sus and being weeb. Okay, I gotta emphasize that. Gotta make more food. Oh wait, we're teaching. Look at Ranu getting educated in the way of socializing. Oh, it's beautiful to behold. It was kind of chuny, not like super chuny, but it kinda, yeah. You're excited to write a horror romance from the perspective of the monster. Ooh, okay. Wait, so it's like if it was Twilight, but if it was read from the viewpoint of the werewolves and the vampires? No, it was not self-insert. I would never write a self-insert story. I'm not that weeby. That's a certain level of dedication that I can't bring myself. That's a certain level of like weebiness that I cannot bring myself to. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's producing steel. It just spits out steel. Okay, so every 3 hours it will automatically just spit something out. It may or may not cause things to attack us. Okay, for the time being, because I don't have a very good way to set up a defensive structure, I'm gonna just put down we're gonna start putting down some turrets. Bare minimum is just like a very simple turret protection system like this. Actually, no, I think we'd move it up here. And then wait, no, I can do better. I have this. We can put down bunkers. Okay, so I'm just gonna put down a bunker here and a bunker here. Now these are fairly cheap, and I don't know what these use. 762 by 51 NATO. Let's make sure we have a bunch of those. 762 by 51 NATO. AP rounds is fine. Do this until we have 500 in stock. Fantastic. What's that story you're trying to hide as you claim you never write a self-insert Chuny story? Well, I promise you I would never write a self-insert Chuny story, but let's just say I was very influenced at the time by certain light novels that I was reading, and not even just like, this was in the era before light novels were getting officially translated. I think at the time the only ones that were really officially translated were things like Spice and Wolf and Haruhi. A lot of other ones weren't really officially translated at that era, so a lot of the English writing that a lot of that weird writing that I was doing was very much, I mean, for lack of better terms, it was very much influenced, like the writing style was very much influenced by light novels of the era. I have no other way to describe it beyond that. So it would, like, if you were to read it, you'd be like, wow, this reads like garbage. Well, because it is garbage. Like, that's just the simple gist of it. It's just bad. And I'm, you know, I'm okay enough with myself to admit that, okay, you know, I was reading a lot of weeb nonsense, and I was very much influenced by weeb culture at the time. Okay. I'm not gonna get into the specifics, but if you can read between the lines, you'll understand. And so that's what happened. The more you know, I guess. If you like serious vampires, grimdark, try Vampire Hunter D books. You've been translated English. I don't really read too much vampire anything. I haven't read like a lot of books in recent memory. I've been meaning to get back into reading science fiction. I told myself, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go read Project Hail Mary. And here I am. Oh, I went to watch the movie. It was a great movie. Maybe one of these days I'll get around to reading the book. So many things. So little time. It's a tragedy. Okay, here we go. We need to make more slates so we can put together these bunkers. There we go. So we're just gonna have Kefir sit here and make this. Thankfully, this room is not warm enough, right? I hope. Please tell me the room is warm enough now. Yes, work speed 150%. That's what I like to see, because it's electric. And I could probably make it faster if I threw in some other stuff, too. Since it's... I don't know what Changeling, Mage, and Vampire is. 2 anime movies. Maybe I'll give it a look at some point. I'm a little picky about, like, what I watch, mostly just because I don't have infinite time. My current obsession has been this YouTube channel that I found called, what was it? I think his name is like History Buff. It's really funny because he'll watch a movie, like he'll talk about like a historical film, and he'll just like, give it like give the context, right? Like, oh, this is what was happening in this movie and why they were doing it, and how does it match historically, etc., etc., etc. But that's fine. But the funniest thing was he made a video, a 2-hour-long video that I actually watched, where he just rips into the Ridley Scott Napoleon film, which I don't know if anyone's ever seen that movie, but it's like the quote-unquote historical film where Napoleon goes, and for whatever reason, at some point in the film, he shoots cannons at the Great Pyramids of Giza. And it's like, but why? And he was explaining how, like, yeah, everything, like, this entire movie is basically a Napoleon character assassination, which I was like, that's a very interesting way of describing this movie. Yeah, if you've never seen it, it's definitely a movie that exists, that you could definitely watch if you really wanted to, but I'm not gonna say you should. I'm just gonna say that the option exists for you to watch this movie. It's not a very good movie. Like, from a purely critical perspective, it's definitely a film that exists. Kefir's having a food binge, unfortunately. Okay. You'll never write again. It seems that no one wants to read hard sci-fi, NASA, punk fantasy. I think it's one of those things, like, so hard science fiction has a very niche audience, right? People who really enjoy the physics. Like, I used to read a lot of hard science fiction by the likes of, Stephen Baxter and Arthur C. Clarke. But I'm also a weird individual who enjoys that type of content. Most people are probably not going to want to read that type of content in this day and age, is the unfortunate reality of how this stuff works. I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, I'm aware that, like, my personal taste in media might not be the most normal. Okay, can we get you this, oh, he's missing an arm too. Great. Let's give you this prosthetic leg to replace your right leg. Yeah, let's get to that real fast. Okay, we need a medical bed. I guess I should probably build the hospital now. Been putting it off for too long. I think I'll take this one. You're going through phases right now. You're on your I wish I had a lesbian vampire GF who bites your neck phase. You know what? More power to you. I hope you're able to one day achieve your goal of having what's the word I'm thinking? What's the word? A lesbian vampire GF nibble on your throat. You tried writing something yourself in high school as practice and you hated it because how... So here's the thing. I did a lot of my writing in high school too. No matter what you do, your writing is gonna suck. Like, let's just be real. Like, the truth of it is that all of your writing is gonna be bad. And it only gets better the more you do it. As painful as that may sound, bad writing is the first step to good writing. And so I always complain to myself, like, man, I wish I could get back into writing. I'm pretty sure I could write something decent because I actually did a lot of it when I was in high school. And also some amount in college as well. I get tangled in the weeds like world building. World building is, oh my god, I always would get stuck in world building because I primarily wrote fantasy, which was weird despite being someone who primarily read science fiction. And boy, gee howdy, it's there's a lot of I don't know how I'm going to describe it. There's a lot of interesting ways that content. Okay, no one's grabbing the soup. I gotta order someone to do this. Can we have someone grab this? Thank you. Okay, please unload the soups. Now we may need to load up more soups again. Once these two come back, it'll be a lot easier. Like, yeah, I definitely was one of those people too that would also get stuck in world building because it's just so easy to be like, oh, I need to make sure like every part of this, you know, is relevant or has an explanation, right? When in reality, most of the time, you can just get away with just like the bare bones of anything. You can just make stuff up as you go. You can be like George R. R. Martin, who's just like, so this is the East continent and we call it Essos. This is the Western continent and we call it Westeros. And it's like, oh, and this is the Southern continent and we call it Sorithros or whatever it's called. I'm like, this man is just adding Ost to East, West, and South. And I'm like, you know what? 10 out of 10. Although George R. R. Martin is also like on a completely different level because that man will write a incredibly extensive family tree for every minor character, even if it's completely unnecessary to the actual plot. But he just does it for the sake of world building. Because you ever read Game of Thrones, you'll see like a lot of characters just offhandedly mentioned like once or twice, but like they'll get like a full description of like what their heraldry is and how long they've been, you know, existing. It's quite interesting to see how much effort the man's willing to put. Oh, okay, we've arrived at our destination. I guess we're gonna save. Okay, we've arrived at our destination. It is negative 179 Celsius for some unholy reason. That is... We're gonna freeze to death unless we can solve this problem immediately. How are you supposed to survive negative 178? All right, okay. How about we do this? Let's have you... Okay, we're gonna have you park here. Okay, so your poster immediately falls to hypothermia. How can you survive this? Can you actually survive this? Okay, wait. Does the upholster just die from hypothermia? You give your a hard time about this continent things about Wessex and Sussex. I mean, exactly, right? Like, it's just so silly, but you know, it works. I don't think we can survive this. Like, I think Ray just dies, right? Oh my gosh, name this. Hold on. Just carry the poor man. See, maybe if we get inside it, it'll be warm. Okay. So, hypothermia extreme. There is a heater in here, but I'm not sure if that's going to be warm enough. Claim this and crank this up to max. I think it's a little broken because I set the world weather to be way colder than it's supposed to be, and this map is supposed to be cold anyways. There's like realistically no way, no matter what gear you have, that you could survive this. Like Ray's barely surviving the extreme hypothermia right now. Z Opposer's gonna die in about 5 seconds unless I cheat this, which I'm absolutely gonna cheat this because this is stupid. Because I think the only thing I could do to make him survive would be to throw him a, I don't know what you would even need, like a reconnaissance cloak, probably. Like, Alana, even your pawn would explode in this intense weather. Reconnaissance, battle, just throw one in here. That might give him just a little bit more weather to survive. I'm just gonna quickly just purge the health penalty, because again, this is dumb. We can do the same thing for Ray temporarily. You're right, I did create this situation for myself. That's true. Anyways, how have you been, Alana? How's your art thing? I know you're working on the new roster of the Angels. You watched God on a very nice and not illegal streaming website until the last season and just lost something. A lot of people complain about Game of Thrones last season, and I'm one of those people. Okay. But it's like, think of it this way. It's like the two directors, the showrunners, the head runners, I don't know what you call them, is so silly because they wanted to just be done with Game of Thrones so they could work on Star Wars. And then HBO was willing to throw them so much money. I think they offered them like, we have enough money to keep this running for 3 more seasons, 4 more seasons. Even George R. Martin was like, let's do another 3 or 4 seasons. And then they're like, nah, we just want to be done with it and just move on to our next project. And for whatever reason, HBO just didn't just take away the show from them. Instead, they just said, all right, fine, you want to end it? We can end it. And so Game of Thrones is one of those shows that everyone will always remember it for having a bad ending, instead of it being like a cultural icon that existed for literally the decade that it was running. Because you have shows like Breaking Bad, where even today people are like, Breaking Bad was one of the best shows I've ever seen, man, its plot is so good, and every spin-off or sequel or prequel to that show just gets accolade after accolade. And then you have Game of Thrones, where the only thing anyone ever remembers was this ending sucked, and so everyone will always clown on it for all eternity. And now they're doing prequels and side shows, which are kind of, depending on what your interpretation of art, have decent quality. Like, for example, I think A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is really good. I think House of the Dragon, the acting is phenomenal, but the story is... it definitely exists. Waiting for the Rimworld update. When is that? What's supposed to be in the Rimworld update? Also, we can free this guy now. Let's open up this person. Oh, look at that arc. This thing has a lot of power. All right, this is Mashale. Dr. Alan Mashale, the brilliant mind behind the creation of the arc generator, brings a wealth of knowledge and experience across the planet. He has tirelessly developed countless arc prototypes, though many have succumbed to neglect and external catastrophes. Despite these setbacks, he possesses an unparalleled expertise in constructing, repairing, and maintaining and upgrading all known arc generators, including the advanced nuclear and geothermal variants. However, he can salvage critical components from advanced components, a skill that could prove invaluable. Okay, so we need this guy. Hello, Grenadier, how's it going? You can call me whatever, it's fine. You love the man in the high castle in the final 10 minutes. I think a lot of people... a lot of times, like, companies are really good at completely cocking up the ending to a show. And it's so funny how this happens every single time. Like, oh, we will never be free from the... we will never be free from just things being bad. And it's so tragic. Let's quickly deconstruct all this. Oh, wait. Hold on, why is this... okay, it's just about to shoot us. I'm just gonna not deal with that, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pretend you don't exist. Okay. That was kind of dumb. Alright, let's just quickly dismantle this. Okay, then we're gonna dismantle this thing. And then we're gonna hop into the car and get out of here. Okay, so then we're just gonna load this up with all of this. And then we need to hop in here. I think we'll leave. Can we deconstruct this real fast? Okay. How about we have Ray drive? Let's have you board as a passenger, you board as driver. All right, let's get out of here. I kind of want to grab that too. Hold on. can you uninstall this real quick? I'd like to take that vitals monitor with me. Wait, can I oh, hold on, I might want this too, actually. Deconstruct these. I don't really need it as whole, but we do need to get out of here. Wow, that's gonna take forever. All right, let's just get out of here. All right, skedaddle, and then we're just gonna load this up with the vitals monitor and everything else I don't really care about. That's fine. Okay, and then we're just gonna go back to the world map, reform the caravan. Yeah, sure, why not take that too? And then send instantly. Okay, so then they gotta traverse back 20 days. I think I said I was just gonna cheat them back because it's gonna take too long. So we're gonna teleport back. Okay, bug fixes, but a dev asked to use vanilla color picker, made some changes to it based on bugs you found. Now you're needing before you create. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, is this thing you're talking about, like having multiple colors? I remember you mentioning that, like the multicolor thing. The cultural icon fell off immediately after the last episode. Stores had got nice merch days gone from everywhere. Yeah. You got a small store. You ended up unsubscribing from 6 years worth of Steam Workshop mods and nuked your PC by opening up 1127 Firefox. Oh. You know, worst comes to worst, you could probably just try to pull up one of your previous saves and be like, all right, which mods from this save did I actually care about? I'm gonna teleport over here because it's gonna take an eternity otherwise. All right, welcome back, citizens who've arrived, who were off on a magical journey. They have returned, and so now we have a new person, the great Dr. Alan Marshall, the inventor of the Ark. He is trigger-happy, frail, hardy, and nervous, and also a hard worker. Now the question is, who will claim this magical pawn? Rachel's the only one on the name queue, and so it goes to Rachel. All right, let's see. That's fine. All right, so really good at certain things, obviously bad at certain other things, but that's okay. I'll make that work. You made this. Okay, so we're just gonna. The other thing I forgot to do is I need to load this thing up with bullets. All right, so we're gonna park here, and then unload everyone, and we should probably unload all the cargo too. Look at all this stuff that we have now that we need to make sure we bring inside. We got medicines, we got vitals monitors, we've got components, art components, we got everything. The path of the Muffalo Pack and hit the mass unsubscribe from. Oh, okay. Wait, what is Path of the Muffalo? Path of the Muffalo Rimworld. Am I about to be concerned what I'm about to see? Okay. It's a vanilla plus mod pack. Okay, gotcha. So it's basically how to make the game have more stuff in here, and also. Okay, I have not tried this before, but it seems kind of interesting. Maybe I'll take a look at this mod list in the future and see what we can do with it, but that does sound kind of neat. Okay, we need to start setting up other stuff. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, let's get all this stuff brought inside and let's start preparing our shenanigans now. So this person does come with a unique ancient tight parka, which I think I need to set the. No, it's got infinite hit points. Okay, and it will just basically keep him warm basically all the time. No. I'm not gonna add mods to the run mid-game. I have learned my lesson and I shall not make such a mistake again. Otherwise people are gonna yell at me. So in the interest of not being yelled at, I shall not be doing that. Worry not, comrades, I have self-restraint. Hello, Steve. I'm so sorry you died before you came on stream today. I wish I was joking. You perished. It was a very dumb mistake on my end. Yes, I promise it was. Oh, jeez, we gotta get these soups out of here. I don't know why we're not like auto unloading the soups, but it's driving me crazy. Let's go haul these off. Gotta load this up again too. There we go. I'm a very smart individual who would never add random mods unnecessarily to a game where things like that could break everything in half. No sirree, I have learned my lesson. After trying to mess around with that one what is it called? What's that one weird ass mod that was the, not the vehicle map expansion, not the technical map vehicles. When was the other one? The one that makes, oh, it was performance optimizer. That's the one that broke everything. Yeah. Okay, it was performance optimizer. Never again. Absolutely not. Never again. Okay, let's set up a hospital. I've been meaning to set up a hospital for quite some time, so I think I said, oh, we don't have, oh, we can do the bridge now, right? Ooh, that's kind of hefty. Let's do that. I did at one point, and then I uninstalled it because it kept breaking TTS, which is very funny. So I'm like, all right, I'm never doing that again, and so I have resolved to never install mods midstream again because it'll just break things in half. You deserve that for installing AI slop first. I probably should. Wait, is it actually? Wait, no. Was it? No. Hold on. It wasn't that one. Not. It was called Was it actually performance? Performance? It was this one called Performance Optimizer by Taranchuk. That's the one, and it's been around since 2021, which I think is before the rise of AI slop. Unless he's been using AI slop in his content, because I usually try to avoid the ones that okay, so I like to think that I at least am somewhat capable of identifying slop, mostly primarily because I'll read your complaints about other people's mods and I'll be like, okay, so I know what to avoid. You want AI generated? Oh yeah, that's right. Have you not? Oh, if yes, if you don't know this grand tier, if you ever look on the Rimworld Discord, there's a lot of people who are uploading AI slop nowadays to the workshop because I guess it's just the hot new thing to be like, hey yo, want to look at my mods, and they're all just garbage content. That's the future we live in now. It's all slop. It's all about the slop. Oh, is CK3? Oh, okay, so I haven't actually looked at the CK3 workshop in quite some time. I haven't played CK3 in a bit. I will be playing CK3 in the future in my own time. I don't think I'm going to stream CK3 again because I don't think people really want to watch Crusader Kings 3. But I know they're doing a new update soon, or this year, and like the whole focus is on the Catholic Church mechanics. I'm very excited for that. Let me look at the CK3 workshop. Like, how bad is it? Oh, that is a lot of AI art. Yeah, that's oh yeah, that's pretty rough. Ooh, yeah, you can definitely tell that's AI art. Ooh. Just banned someone for showing their AI studio software in mod dev. They literally had Google Gen cough up a prefab studio edited for less than they posted it. Ah, yes. That's actually really bad. Jeez. 70% of CK3 art. I'm not even surprised CK3 art has this much AI art. I feel like the problem with a lot of these mods, like, people don't want, like, they have the idea and they can do the writing, but they can't do the art part. And so instead of, you know, maybe looking for some free use art that they can have, or taking screenshots, or learning how to draw, they're just, or commissioning someone, they're like, well, what if I just use an AI generator to draw what vaguely looks like a generic looking king? And pretending to be Dean Hall on social media. Oh, jeez. Yikes is the only word I have to say for that. Well, at least we've gotten rid of him, right? It's good that at least you purge the guy before he can cause more harm. These things get built already. Am I still not having enough slate? Who's my slate maker? Okay, so you got food poisoning. Oh, he's got the anesthetic, right? Okay, so who's my other crafters? Okay, so Rachel's primarily gonna focus on researching. If you're not researching, I would like you to craft. Construction is not your priority, and as long as I have enough people cooking around the clock, we should be fine. Now, the question is, do I have enough people cooking around the clock? Is this not a... What kind of job is this? Is this not like a cooking job? Okay. In other words, he was trying to scam people with an AI studio. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. The main thing with AI is that AI is gonna be a scam no matter how you wanna interpret it. So you just have to pretend these, you know, just let them do their thing. Just if you let it bother you all the time, you're just gonna go crazy. That's just the unfortunate reality of it all. These AI bros will never stop until they control everything. Avoid at all costs. Oh, right, we gotta get guns for Rachel. Okay, so Rachel, what do I have? All right, I'm gonna make another assault rifle, and hopefully we can get all this materials out of here. Ranu is freezing to death because it is negative 50 centigrade, and Ranu is kitted out for negative 38. So that's not good. Maybe we shouldn't have Ranu be growing to grab this. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assign Ranu to stay inside the warm zones. The poor child should not be out and about where it is hot or where it is, you know, painful. And then we're also gonna zone this as warm. Yeah. You don't like wasting your time having to filter out AI slap out here. Yeah. No, I can definitely understand the frustration about that. I hope you're not gonna deal with that forever, obviously, considering it's just ridiculous. Is Strombo fur warmer than buffalo fur? 54 versus... Oh, I think this is actually warmer. You actually wear this too. You can. Okay, so you can at least give you a hat. Okay. AI is a something something I know. How's it gonna manage the cameras otherwise? Gosh. You know, okay, you know what actually annoys me so much too? Let me get this. This is Alana's daughter, Mitsuya, has arrived and wants to join the colony. Sure. Okay. Okay, we have a single parka this person can put on before they freeze to death in the negative 58 degrees centigrade outside. Hopefully they can make it. And then, thank God this person can actually use a gun. Oh my goodness, finally another gunner. I need to make more guns. We need lots of guns in the colony. This colony is so short on firearms. If I can just get enough steel to make more firearms, we'd be okay. Alright, so, are you gonna freeze to death? No, probably not. You'll be okay. Cool. I don't think anyone's in the queue right now, right? Oh, Steve's in the queue. Alright, Steve, congratulations. You have been reborn. Oh, did I not apply it yet? Hold on. Alright. You are Alana's daughter. You are a transfer student who grew up to be... you transferred to a... You went to school at a glitter world, and then you became a normal colonist. You're muscular, pretty athletic, a bit of a recluse, and nimble, which means we're gonna make you a melee gunner, or we're gonna make you a gunner. And we'll give you a nice gun, and you can do gun things. I need to make more bedrooms. We're running out of bedrooms in the colony, unfortunately, too, is the other problem. A lot of this is not space efficient, I'll tell you that much right now. This was not designed to be space efficient. But anyways, what was I talking about before I got distracted on the side rambling? All right. I think the thing that I still hate the most is I hate looking at art. And I hate having to play, like, I hate playing AI art or what is it, like, Among Us. It's like the worst part of it, because I like looking at art. I like seeing, like, what people draw and come up with, and it's always so interesting, like, oh wow, that's super cool, that's super awesome, and then I'll click their profile and it's like AI art generator. I'm like, no, why? It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna get any better. I think it's just gonna, like, stay bad for a very, very long time, because it's just what AI art has been normalized, I think, in the greater view of society, which is frustrating for us as people who are creatives, but what are you gonna do? Like, the only thing that I can do is just choose to not engage with it, right? And that's, I think, what most people can do at most, is just choose to not engage with it. That's all you can do. Oh, we gotta crank this up. Ooh, okay, 3,000 watts of power. We still need more power. Even 4 wind turbines are not enough. I'm gonna need another source of electricity soon. Let's see. spared this time. Oh, what if we force you in here, Infidave, at some point? Only hope is that tools become less accessible to the masses. You hate the unlabeled stuff where the people who get defensive generations of their property get. Oh my gosh. To be fair, thank goodness the Supreme Court and I think the Patent Office has basically declared you cannot copyright AI art, which is, thank God. I would have lost so much faith in society as a whole if they're just like, so AI art can be copyrighted? Thank God it's not. Yeah. But I hate the fact that they're like, yeah, so I'm an AI artist. Like, no, you're not an AI artist. You're someone who knows how to put words into a machine to make it spit out art instead of actually, you know, going through the creative process of putting art together. And that's the part that frustrates me. It's the people who think that, like, oh, AI art is real art. Like, no, it's not, you absolute buffoon. This is not art. Please stop saying it's art. Okay. That's what frustrates me. It's like the people who are like, yeah, it's art. No. Stop. It's not. Anyways, I know it's just me rambling, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. And I'm sure most people here probably have very similar feelings about, you know, such things. So I'm not going to get into it that much longer. They're getting a free commission from a machine to make art, but it's not free nowadays too, because a lot of times you have to pay for like tokens and whatnot. And let's be real, a lot of these people are probably just using it to make like an infinite machine that can make I'm trying to think like what's the nicest way to describe it. It's a machine to make an infinite amount of funny materials. How about that? Let's call it that. Yeah, it's a thing designed to make infinite funny materials. I'm gonna make Ranu focus on hauling things. Ranu is 3 years old and can pull the soup from the pots now, because that's what you have to do. So I think the cooking and hauling, so moving the soup to the pot is a hauling job. As long as we have someone who's hauling, then we can at least refill our what do you call these things? Our larders. And that should be fine. And then we're going to have these bunkers here that can at least protect us. And we'll try to put a bunch of these on each side if I can afford the cost. Just so we have a form of protection, even if it's not the best form of protection. If it's a form, then it's fine. Also, look at that slate. That's a lot of slate. Funny thing is, running a local model takes so little. There's no reason to pay an AI generator because things like Stability Matrix and Civet AI exist. I think it's just because people are lazy. Like, or they might actually... It might actually just be, like, too intense on their computer. I won't lie. Like, I played around with AI tools on, like, my machine when it was first coming out, because I think most people were just kind of curious to see, like, how it worked. And I was like, huh. But then it was like, man, I don't really want to use this. And also, I learned eventually, like, okay, all the real bad things about it. And so that's why I basically didn't really commit to using AI, because I'm like, this is not really a good thing in the grand scheme of things. There's also just a lot of people out there who just don't care and will just keep using it forever and ever and ever. A lot of my friends are into like using AI art, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm still going to be friends with them because I enjoy their company, but like, I don't support their usage of, you know, AI art. Because I remember it was like back in the day when it was Stable Diffusion, like Gen 1. To change the subject, how big are our roofs? Our roofs are really big. Kind of. I don't know how to describe it, but we have roofs. They're not sun. Oh, we do need to get more food, though. How did this Mega Sloth get in here? Hold on, we're just gonna kill this thing real quick. I don't know how this Mega Sloth popped in here. I'm gonna kill it before it starts eating my stuff. Hold on. All right, everyone shoot. Okay, you shoot at it. Okay, you shoot at it too. Perfect. All right, it's dead. Let's go slaughter this thing. Cool. Okay, so hold on, let me think. So 25... What is this? Advanced hydroponics basins? Oh, standard hydroponics basins. Okay, so to make the equivalent amount of hydroponics, I would need... Okay, I would need 2,500 units of steel. Guess what we don't have? 2,500 units of steel. Now, granted, this thing is outputting steel every, you know, 3 hours. Something pops up, but, you know, could be anything. But yeah, I don't know how to tell you what our roof size is, but it's getting, like, the colony is getting bigger, if that's what you want to know. Like, we are slowly expanding our size. It's just gonna take a little bit longer than we would like it to be, right? Also, I'm gonna need... Ooh, I need Ranu to start hauling these things in here real quick. Ranu will definitely be able to reach growth tier something at some point. Mess around with Dolly and you realize it was art exactly. Actually, you know what's kind of depressing? So there was an artist that I really like their art. I've been following them for quite some time on social media, and they announced recently that like, oh, I'm really sorry, but I have a confession to make. Guess what their confession was? It wasn't that they were using AI art, surprisingly. No. Their confession was like, oh, I've been tracing this whole time, and I'm like, okay, well, at least he admitted to the fact that he was tracing art. But at the same time, I'm like, man, that's a rough thing to have to admit to, that you were tracing art this whole time. And I was like, man, that's rough, because I really enjoyed his art. He was known for drawing like Taiga from Toradora primarily, and he had a very distinctive art style that was very similar to another artist that I know, and that's why I enjoyed looking at his content. And then apparently, yeah, like, nope, I've been tracing this whole time, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you know what, at least he admitted it. At least that's braver than I think a lot of other, like, these AI artists who are just like, who cares if it was AI art. I think the worst part, okay, the funniest thing about AI art that I've seen, and then I'll eventually move off this topic, is the people who are like, yeah, so I'm gonna start taking AI art commissions. I've seen that unironically said before, and I'm just like, what? Who's gonna pay you to draw AI art? And I guess there's apparently a market for this. And I'm just like, who's out here paying people to put in words into a prompt machine? You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't really make any sense to me. But I guess it's just it's an actual thing. So I don't know. We live in a clown world is the best way that I'm gonna describe it. We really do live in a clown world, and it's starting to get a little too silly for my taste. You know, nothing's making any more sense, and it's a little ridiculous. Oh, we are getting more combat cloaks, by the way. Look at how much temperature. So now with these cloaks, the temperature that they can survive is now all the way to -83, which is fantastic. I don't know, times you wish you were jump on that kind of bandwagon. The extra cash would be nice, but these pesky morals keep getting in the way. Hey, you know what? Me too. I understand that. Like, it's one thing, but here's the thing. Like, would you really sell out your own morals to make all that cash? I mean, there's definitely been, you know, everyone's gonna have those thoughts where it's like, man, if I was just willing to sell out, I could have all this stuff, money, and whatever I want, but that's how you end up in like bro grifter culture, right? And eventually the bubble's gonna pop. It's the same thing. Like, there's always some trend people are chasing. Now it's AI. Before AI, it was NFTs. Before NFTs, it was like what, cryptocurrency. Just like, anyone remember when people were going on about like crypto land, and everyone's like trying to make their coin the next hot coin that everyone's gonna want to buy? I remember that. It was a disaster. Cryptoland was like this weird project that I remember seeing. Like, some people were like, what if we just made an island and people will live on our island because it's, you know, cryptocurrency themed. It's going to be all the rich people who have like a bajillion tokens in, you know, in Fimble coin or something like that. And then apparently it fell completely sideways because they had a massive PR disaster where it's implied that the people who are going to go there are pedophiles. And there's a lot of context to that I don't have like on me, but it was really funny when it was being discussed at the time. But basically, I think someone made a tweet. It's like, what's the age of consent on Cryptoland? And then the Cryptoland official account was just like, mental maturity is a form of consent. And everyone was just like, whoa, hold up. No one liked that. and that's how a lot of these projects die, unsurprisingly, because it's just filled with all sorts of weird people who should probably not be allowed near certain individuals. The more you know, I guess. Also, we need to put in medicine here. Let's put open shelf. Let's start storing meds. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, let's just go down the whole row. Fantastic. That'll make sure we can store lots and lots of stuff, and once we get this room heated up, I think it'll be a lot easier to get stuff done as well. We're gonna need probably gonna need 2 large radiators for this. We'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I have morals. I wouldn't really engage with that type of stuff. Just not really worth it. If I want art, I don't know, pay an artist. Just pay someone. Not really a point to not, you know what I mean? Okay, let's research more things. So what can we do to get more power in this accursed realm of just no way to get electricity or energy? I guess we'll just try to get what we can to improve our medical stuff. I do have morals. What do you mean? Ray could attest to this. Ray believes me. She would attest to my moral standing, right? I think she would. She would absolutely be like, yes, the person that I married, in fact, does have morals. Wouldn't that be crazy? What a strange concept. What a strange concept that would be. All right, we gotta get assigned guns. Sue just joined us. Matsuya, I think, was the one. Okay, so I'm having a mental breakdown. Let's assign Rachel a gun. Since I think we made the spare rifle, we can make one more. Just gonna give everyone assault rifles. Probably the easiest way to make sure we're at least kitted out for combat. Is it cold enough? No, it's negative 50 centigrade. It's gonna get colder soon, and our food stores are not gonna be enough. I'm actually gonna stop growing heal root, and we're gonna switch back to rice. I need to start setting up the second, whatchamacallit. We need to start setting up the second, we need to start setting up the second hydroponics bay if we can get enough steel. We do need to set up the, what do you want to call it though? Comms console though. I've been meaning to do this for a while and I just keep forgetting. I'm just gonna dump it in here. Probably makes sense to put it here. Okay. Yeah, we're setting up our hothouses. So here's hothouse 1. It was primarily growing heel root, but I think we're done growing heel root. We're gonna pivot to rice because our larder is getting a little thin. I'd like to get this a little thicker with more meat on it. Our biggest issue right now, I've mentioned before, is no steel. Now, there's a lot of material we could turn into steel, but again, it's a little difficult. I do want to get in here at some point, but we need to get past the turret and the wasp trap as well. And that's also going to be a bit of a disaster when we don't have a way to really, you know, tank it, if that makes sense. So that's what's going on. Over here is our hospital. We're trying to finally build our hospital, and we have these turrets now, which thankfully will provide a small amount of defense to whatever's coming after us. Oh, Ray's in a coma. Great. Oh, great. Another mechanoid is attacking. Wait a second. That's right on top of us. That's not... Why did Ray have to have a mental breakdown right now? Okay, this is very, very bad. Okay, so we're gonna quickly emergency mode everyone. Get everyone to the safety zone. Ray's having a mental break. You draft, switch to slugs. You come out here, you come out here. Umi doesn't have a weapon. So he pulls a kind of sword. Okay, so what are we fighting? Okay, you stay in here. Okay, I guess we just gotta beat him up. Okay, so hold on. You stand over here. Okay, strike. Maybe we can just slap it silly. Okay, Umi, you need to run over here. You know what's crazy? I set up defensive perimeters, right? And it decided, yeah, we're just going to completely ignore that. We're just going to drop on top of you. He's not going to survive this. Yeah, he's not going to survive. Okay. The other solution might be to try to bait it out towards the... Okay, we're going to have you focus on hitting that Militor there. If we can run towards it, or if it's going to shoot... Oh, it's just going to kill Zeopolzer, I guess. Nope, alright, and then these two are going to move in here. Okay, so you're going to try to shoot this one down. Stand over here. Okay. No, stop moving in the way. Okay. Shoot this one. Okay, Rachel's also a traitor. The creator of the Ark appeared to be a traitor, convincing others to embrace an ideology that rejects technology. Forming a new ideology called Elders. Priority will be destroying the Ark generator, and just like anyone who has the whole knowledge of how to construct one of them, we can exile them or convert them back to the previous idea. Okay, we're gonna convert them eventually, but we gotta survive this first. Okay, so I need to deal with this. I know there's a Militor in there. Okay, what's happening over here? Okay, so we're running into the turrets. Alana's over here, so I can have Alana try to rescue, but God, I think everyone's gonna die here. Okay, turret is doing its job. Try to get over here real fast. Okay, so you're gonna have you quickly emergency tend here. Oh no, they all just lost this stupid Militor. You gotta be kidding me. I don't have a way to deal with the mechanoids. Like, that's the biggest problem. Okay, you're fine. And then I need to get over here real fast. I think Kefir dies here. Still a mechanoid running around. I have no way to deal with it. No, these two are literally having a social fight in the middle of this combat, which is also dumb. Okay, you need to quickly try to tend. Although I'm pretty sure you're not gonna be able to. Okay, so you're gonna quickly tend to Kefir, I think is the one here. Just trying to give us as much time as possible. Hello, Rock Nearly What Streamer. What's up, man? It's we're dying is the kindest way to describe it. We're all exploding, and it's very, very bad. They're still fighting over there. Okay, I think Ranu can be okay. So Havel's okay. So can you run in quickly? Okay, you're already here. You quickly tend. You quickly run over here and see if you can tend. And then I'm gonna have Alana pivot over to Sun and see if we can tend to Sun real fast. Oh, okay, yeah, that thing's just gonna kill us all. Great. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Can't counter that. Awesome. You hate the first 5 things you should go for? Not like, what are the first things? What do you mean? How do you survive losing is fun? You're asking the... I am a very bad Rimworld player. Get food and get security. Everything else doesn't matter. As long... Set up like a small kill box if it's your first time playing. And then... Set up, set up food. But your priority is to not die. So you need to... Wait, what? Why is Steve... What? Why is Steve a betrayer? Wait, what? Why are you on the other faction? Oh, you were a traitor. But you're still Alana's daughter? Or was that fake? Oh, I guess... Okay, hold on. I'll worry about that in a second. I need to worry about this. Okay. Can you get over here and shoot this thing now? Gotta reload. Okay, so 2 hours, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so if you can reload. Okay, so Havel's dead. Oh my god. Okay, so now I can try to tend all these fucking injuries. God damn it. All right. So Havel still died. We weren't able to tend to that fast enough. Okay, you're fine. You try to tend without medicine. You run away. Okay, you're okay. Then you're gonna... No, you're gonna tend over here. Okay, so they're all in cap. Okay, you're gonna tend to them. Sorry, there's like a lot of stuff. Look up Mortal Sword Adam. Yes. Basically, I am the wrong person to play vanilla Rimworld because I don't play vanilla Rimworld and everything I do breaks the game now. Okay, I'm just gonna reload. This is stupid. That was dumb. I know I'm reloading a lot this run, but I'm not dealing with this nonsense. It's already hard enough, and then trying to survive with all the extra stuff that we're dealing with on top of that is a little much to ask of me right now. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. And I'm not gonna lie. So one thing to keep in mind too is if you're gonna play Rimworld on high difficulty, you should expect to lose like a lot, and don't feel bad if you lose a lot. I am a firm believer that you should not feel bad about reloading. I think I used to be like, you should feel bad for reloading. Now I'm of the opinion of like, no, you should be allowed to reload if you think if you learn from your mistakes. And I do learn from the mistakes every time I reload, because it makes me realize, okay, what am I missing? What have I learned? What am I doing wrong? Like, okay, maybe I need to make sure Rey doesn't have a mental breakdown so she can actually, you know, fight. Like I was missing essentially an entire pawn for that engagement. And things like that, you know, you'll learn over time, like, okay, what am I missing? How do I get better at this? And so on and so forth. So don't feel bad if you have to, quote unquote, cheat. There's nothing wrong with playing on console. Wait, does console have... Console doesn't have all the expansions though, right? Like, I don't think console has graph ship. Does it? I actually have no idea. Now I'm kind of curious if console ever got graph ship. Let's so smooth this. You know what's actually funny? I've been playing a lot of city builders recently. I've been playing so much Tropico. Amusingly enough, has been my city builder of choice for the past couple days. And it's been quite the experience playing that. All right, I want more. We need better firearms, I think. So we're just gonna focus hard on, how do I get EMPs? We already got it unlocked. Okay, so we already have it unlocked. Let's get, I don't think we're ever gonna go into space anytime soon. What do I need here? Oh, you don't even have biotech. Interesting. I have not played. I legitimately do not know what's in the. I legitimately do not know what's in the console version. I just know that the console controls are apparently pretty solid for a game like Rimworld, and I've actually considered playing it on my Steam Deck just because it seems like it'd be a perfectly fine and serviceable experience, but haven't bothered to do that myself. Okay, so I also need to make sure Ranu is set to priority hauling. That way Ranu can ensure that all the soup pots are filled. Look at this. Look at how much soup we have. So much soup for days. Okay, and then this, we got more switching to rice. Okay. And then I want a comms console over here. How do I rotate this? It's Q and E. Got any info for losing fun gotta be used for normal mode? I mean, it is, but basically the thing is, like, set up defenses, set up a kill box, you'll be fine. Just make sure, you know, you keep your pawns happy, don't neglect entertainment, all that jazz. And make sure you learn how to, I don't know, get your resources that you need in vanilla, because I don't play vanilla. I play with like some, like 200 something mods, I think 150, which makes the game a much different experience compared to normal. Like, especially because I'm playing with a mod called Combat Extended, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one, but it basically changes how fight works. Yes, I also stream the game too, which does also add an extra layer of complexity. Literally, I always make the joke that streaming reduces the IQ of the player. And it definitely does for me. I think streaming while playing makes the game a lot harder than it really has any right to be. And that's just because my focus and attention is split in like multiple different directions. Can't really do much about that. Definitely watch Rimworld, people. Well, look, thanks for watching here at least. I try my best to provide a somewhat semi-competent experience. I cannot guarantee competence that often, but sometimes you'll be like, wow, this player knows what they're doing, and then a lot of other times you'll be like, wow, this player is an idiot. Take your interpretation as you will. Well, that's kind of how I see it. Okay, so we need to get Rachel a gun too. I have spare rifles, that'd be ideal, but I'm not sure if we have any spare rifles yet. Okay. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is. Like, sometimes I'll have, oh wait, hold on, okay. So Steve turned out to be a traitor, and then Son and Rachel are now embracing an alternate ideology. Where'd Steve go? I don't want to deal with this. I'm sorry. Also, because I don't have a prison set up, and I can't be bothered to set up a prison right now. Hey, buddy, welcome back. Okay. However, there is this mechanic where there's a new ideology called this, and now I need to force them out of it. So now I need to find a way to convert them, which is a whole different set of shenanigans, including a I need a commissar. I think Sun was the commissar, actually. Jeez, really? And then just got converted out of it? Alright, Z-Poser, congratulations. You're the new commissar. Or Rector to the moral guide. Yeah, alright. The players you watch for competence, you watch for shenanigans. Exactly. This is the stream you watch for when you want to bully the streamer and and or watch the streamer get completely mauled to death by their own incompetence. Take your pick, really. This is not high quality gameplay. This is definitely a form of gameplay. Okay, so now I need to find a way to convert. Now I'm gonna run the conversion ritual. And we're gonna try to convert Rachel back. I gotta get this other room set up at some point too, but the fact that it's gonna take so much slate before we can do that is gonna just be very, very difficult. Ray's having a tantrum, and she's trying to destroy the Ark, because of course this is happening. Why? Alright, well at some point she'll stop, I think. Okay, cool. I don't feel like dealing with this mechanic. I'm already struggling enough to deal with the Russ's mechanic, so I'm just gonna flip you back. Flip you guys back. Sorry, I'm not dealing with this mechanic. It's a cute mechanic in theory, but I'm not in the mood. Okay. This colony's already like on the verge, like this colony's perpetually on the verge of complete and utter breakdown, and I'm struggling so hard to just keep it functioning. I barely have enough steel to do all the things that I need. We have some defenses now, but it's still not enough, obviously. This thing's spitting out as much steel as possible. Look at that. We're getting actually a lot. Maybe if I add another drill, maybe we can get even more minerals. Okay. To make another drill, I need another medium. I need another medium machine frame, which is gonna eat up a lot of materials also, but that's okay. For example, put Neil pillows into a kill box. Raiders take behind cover, and then they won't because they take 5% cover. That's also an option if you're doing like kill boxes. Here's my thing. I don't do kill boxes. Kill boxes are a very, very popular way of just ensuring you're not going to lose. And it works very well. I personally don't enjoy the look of kill boxes that much, which is why I don't do them. But in some runs, I think I would not be opposed to doing kill boxes. Now I would do and when I say kill box, I mean like the kill box with like the funnel that people do, like the mazes. If it's just like, here's a choke point, that's fine. Like, this is not a kill box, this is a choke point, right? It's a little different from like what people would traditionally associate with kill boxes in Rimworld. Oh, do they not? Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case too. Maybe the AI's smart enough to not deal with that. You should have your kill box way too fast with CE weapons. That's also true too, yeah. We need a crafter to sit here and make me more slate blocks. It's Ray's birthday and she's turned 52. For her birthday, she's received a bad back. Great. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I guess Ray's got a bad back. The march of time comes for us all, or something like that, I guess. Actually, what I need to do is I'm gonna make a... Oh, you can't make crates out of slate. That's annoying. What's the highest density? This one's source 12. It's in the source a lot of just blocks. Okay. Ray's bad back. Yeah, I can't believe Ray's back is now broken because of me. What have I done? I didn't mean to do this, I swear. But it happened. It wasn't my fault. Oh, we're gonna make a steel crate right here, and I'm just gonna dump a bunch of slag and other things in here. So this one will be slag and slate chunks. And this is gonna be the important storage for it. That'll be fine. The big word if you're doing that trick too. Walls for all interested in student range, good for cover, bad for them. It just depends. Like it depends how you want to do it. I've seen a lot of very interesting kill boxes too, where people are like, they've used like giant boring drills to run over enemies. I've seen ones where it's like the kill box just lifts them up into space on a grav ship and then they all choke to death in space. I've also seen the war crimey ones where you fill a room with tox gas, or you fill a room with a lot of fire. It really depends on what kind of crime you want to commit. So, you know, keep that in mind. Hi, Ray, welcome back. What does this thing use again for bullets? Something hilariously large, right? 25 by 137. Oh, guess what we have a lot of? Alright, we're just gonna quickly load this up with 25 by 137. Let's throw in like 200 in here. And then we're gonna have someone We're gonna have Havel hop in as a gunner real quick. Should be fine. And then we're gonna reload the gun. Okay. Actually, you know what? Hold on. We gotta kill a muskox. Let's... maybe not. Okay, and then we're gonna pull... pull Ray and Kefir over here. What do you mean knocking yourself out? Did you have, were you suffering from something? Alright, let's see if Kefir can just gun this thing down before it approaches. You need a reload. Cool. We should probably kill those muskoxes. That's some easy food that can help fill up our larders before we starve to death. Grab your name also. That should be fine. What was I talking about? How did I even get on this topic about Rimworld stuff? Oh, we're talking about mods, right? And AI stuff. I'm not even surprised a lot of AI content nowadays. It just sucks, though. People have no more pride in their work. No, a lot of people don't have pride in their work anymore. Some people still have pride. Others are just like, but what about the AI? It's so good. No, shush. I'm glad everyone here is very much like, as Zoingo said, it's very much preaching to the choir. We're all the people who would basically never really engage with AI content or AI tools or anything like that. I've talked to some friends who they're getting very annoyed about the sheer amount of AI content that's in their like workplace now, especially when it comes to coding, because they'll be like, oh yeah, he was complaining recently, like how one of my friends was complaining recently about how he had to interview someone, and the problem was that the person just didn't know what to do unless they had access, like it was open book, right, essentially, to like do this thing for us, and they had to rely on like Claude to do everything. And I'm like, that's probably not a good sign if they're that reliant on an AI tool like Claude to do everything for them. You tripped and you hurt your knee. Please stop hurting yourself. That's not good. You can't be hurting yourself all the time. It's not healthy. Okay, this is now healthy. Or this is fine now. Okay. So we're getting more slate, right? Nope. Okay. I'm gonna haul this slate here. Who's my... Okay. Who's my haul plus specialist? It's gonna be... Let's see. Umi's still a child. No, that's gonna be Ranu. Ranu's entire goal in life is to haul things. Your name's also entire goal, so just haul things. While he could do crafting and other things, I prefer if he just move things around. So I can order someone to haul these slate chunks out of here. Because these will also improve the quality of the rooms. There we go. That should be a little better. And hopefully we can start getting this other stuff slammed out, because goodness gracious, it's gonna take forever for anything to happen. And then we gotta get Steve hooked up with a firearm. So we're gonna assign Steve a rifle kit as well. Half the old base is gone. What do you mean half the old base is gone? We've only been building onto this base. This thing's almost burned through enough fuel. This thing takes forever to like improve. It burns through 50 fuel a day. Not until Ranu's next growth period. Ranu will get at least one trait. Interesting. Can we get Ranu more childhood education? Oh, I remember the other topic too. It was what was it called? We were talking about like TV shows, right? I don't think I really watched much other TV shows now that I think about it. I'm a little picky. And most of it's just like, you know, just whatever content. Thankfully, I don't watch that much garbage, but I used to watch a lot of really weird anime. I still remember I used to be really into like harem slop. I don't watch any of that stuff anymore. Actually, no, speaking of anime, there is one thing I will talk about. There was this one series I remember I used to watch a long time ago called Date Alive. And it's an interesting franchise if you're into, you know, harem slop fantasy type deal. You have characters of every character archetype depending on what you're into, like, and I wish I was joking, but I mean, you've got the sister character, you've got the nun-like character, you got the idiot but like heart of gold character, you've got this is a token, you know, lolly character, you've got like the kudere characters, you got the whole thing, and it's just a mess. And for whatever reason, it's still getting another season. And the running joke is that the anime has its own harem, in the sense that they keep getting a new studio every other season because for some reason they just can't stick to one studio for this, with this stupid show. Hello, Skype in. How are you doing, comrade? Not a lot of hammers. Also, what do you mean never will you see the day? What do you mean, Ranu? What? You'll get old enough. You're surviving somewhat, barely, kind of, maybe. Somewhat. Did we make that, oh, we did make the machine frame. Okay, so I can actually build another drill. Let's slap another drill down. 400 steel. Okay, that's a spicy quantity of steel that we're gonna need. I guess let's haul this steel in. And get that built out. And then now that we have all these chunks here, whoever's gonna work on this can just get this really slapped out quickly. I really need to figure out what I'm gonna do for the defense around this section of the perimeter, but I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start finishing up the wall aesthetic, which is supposed to be like this. Because I said I was gonna fill in the inner tiles, so that's oh shoot, not there. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fill in the inner tiles. I hope it's gonna be symmetric when I'm done with this. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll do... Okay, this one also needs a tile here. Seal this up. That's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh. Don't worry, Ronald. You'll be okay. I've had to reload a bunch of times already because we just kept running into really nasty problems that I didn't want to deal with, honestly. I'm like, oh, just the game needs to throw me a bone. It's just rough. I also need to kill these mechanoids at some point. I do have a turret tank thing, which we could kind of abuse. Oh my goodness, a prosthesis trader. Now the problem is I forgot to set up a orbital trade beacon, but now I can kind of put one down here, and I probably need to slap one down. Probably over here. Or else do I need to put one of these? I think that's about it. If we can put that down ASAP, that'd be great. Let's order you to do it. And look at how much soup I have. Let's stop making soup, actually. We're ripping through our entire stockpile, which is not ideal. But anyways, yeah, Data Life's getting a season 5, and I'm just like, my god. Why does garbage get new anime seasons and stuff I enjoy never get anything? I'm like, this is why we'll never get... This is why we're never gonna get, you know, No Game No Life season 2, or Hidan no Aria season 2, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, because that franchise is like 4 books deep. Oh, hey, look, there's 3 people here that have crash landed on our frozen wasteland. I guess we can go rescue them. We don't really have a spot to store them on. Oh, we don't. Okay. I guess I don't know where to put them for now, so I'm just gonna do this. We're just gonna do furniture. Just gonna do bing, bang, 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 and then we're gonna go have. We're just gonna rescue them. We're gonna rescue Bernie Sanders. We're gonna go rescue Chino, and we're gonna go rescue Santa Claus, and we'll see how long it takes for them to survive. So, No Game No Life, the novels were canceled. What happened specifically was the artist was kind of caught, like the artist for the novels was caught tracing art from various other pieces, or to essentially compose them together to create the final cover art. And that's what the actual issue was. And so because of that, it was just kind of like, hey, I think there was like a whole big deal, and they just weren't really going to do anything with it for quite some time, which is very unfortunate. Okay, so one died, but we were able to save Bernie here, which we don't know if he's going to live, but we'll see. Actually comfortable at a very low temperature. I wonder why. 19-year-old who escaped an organ farm. Tragic life he's had. Okay, let's get all that hauled out of here, and then hopefully Sun can just sit here and make more of these. Now, this room is still not warm enough. So I may need to add another radiator. I'm just gonna... Can I just throw a radiator, like, here? That's fine, right? That's probably okay. And then, actually, what I need to do, since I have spare steel, is we're gonna start adding in these wonderful tool cabinets just to help expedite a lot of the crafting processes. Probably throw them in the middle. I think if we just throw these in the middle, it should be fine. The improved one next to it. It's going to eat up a lot of material, but it's okay. Every point of speed counts. Okay, let's get Rachel a gun. Time to rearm. Okay, why aren't you rearming? You can't even pick up the gun? What's going on here? Pick up your rifle, there you go. Okay, so you can see that we're getting bigger. We can now trade. I did see that there was a trader nearby, so I guess we can go... Oh, you can't talk. I think Havel's missing a mouth. We may need to fix Havel's mouth at some point, too. Ooh, okay, so... What do we got here? I'll sell the Mastodon. I do not need 21 Mastodon tusks. Let's just sell them. In exchange... Ooh, wait. I know we're missing an arm on someone. Architect leg would be... We could buy an Architect leg. Instinct, optimizing, and nanobots. Makes you better melee fighter. These are animal prosthetics. Hospital bed's really tempting. An elbow blade. I don't think I actually need particularly any of these items. So I guess we just skip a neural calculator though. What does this do? It 20% research speed if you're willing to install, if you're able to do brain surgery. That's kind of cute. You are her. Hello, Xanth. What do you mean by that? Should I be concerned what you mean by such words? I guess we'll just not do any of that. That's fine. We'll just leave that be. Sometimes you don't need to, you know, change up too much, right? Just do the bare minimum and it'll be okay. Also, are we making the components now? Thank goodness this thing is working. We do have these two autofabs make components. You're starting to think you use cute. Use cute for an alternative, another word. What do you mean? I mean, I use a lot of words incorrectly. How about that? Apparently, I also say a lot of English words incorrectly, which drives some people up the wall. But that's a whole different problem. That's a whole different issue that I'm not going to get into. But apparently, people say I use words very incorrectly. But I try my best. English is a very difficult language, despite what others tell you. It is very hard. I think it's not really worth building solar, right? We have a bunch of chem fuel power generators, which thankfully we can use our poop fuel for it, but I might just turn these back on. Yeah, let's just turn them back on, that's fine. Alright, turn the gens back on. Well, I mean, what's an example? Like, apparently I don't know how to say the word, like chasm or chasm correctly. I think I always say chasm, but it's apparently pronounced chasm. Yeah, things like that. I know Ray was making fun of me the other day for like another word, but I can't remember what it was. I really should just make a compilation of Professor says English words incorrectly. Oh my god, I don't want to fight this. Okay, so they will attack preemptively. Okay, wait, hold on. I have a solution. I'm gonna save the game. I'm gonna can you save? I have a solution. Get in the gun. Get in the tank. Just get in the tank. And then... Okay, so the one of them that we did rescue will join us. Their name is Chino. Welcome aboard, Chino. I'll have to assign them. Is anyone on the queue? Alright, Comrade Katya, welcome aboard. You are the one named Chino who we have rescued from Espache. You are a... We're gonna change your hair. I don't like that hairstyle. Let's give you something cool looking. Let's see. What do we got? What's cool? That's like a little too emo, I think. That's probably okay. Alright. You are 61 years old and you were a living cure. And then you became a starfighter maintainer. You're really good at medical and construction. Super immune, unconvincing, a masochist, cannibal, and a slow learner. I feel like some of those words are appropriate. You want something long? Sure. Let's see. Let's give you... Anything from eccentric hair that's nice and long? Lurky's hair? I guess I can give you Lurky's hair. Lurky. I'll give you that one. That's fine. Alright, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. I'm just gonna pull the tank up. I'm just gonna get ready to... I'm just gonna gun this down. I don't want to think. Alright, we got a tank. Yes, it's auto fire. I do have a gunner, right? Oh, wait. Oh, let's make it in the gunner seat. Okay, then we can set this auto fire. Alright, start blasting. Maybe we can just shoot them before they get too close. Set to... We'll just do single fire for now. Okay. I'll try to gun them down before they get too close. And then when they get too close, I'll switch to a full auto. Yeah, I was surprised at how appropriate the character was for you. I was like, that's weirdly specific. Alright, we actually are gunning them down, I think, because this thing is overpowered. Come on. Nice. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Screw this. Switch to full. Let's do burst fire. I think burst fire is in 5. Full is 10. All right, now we're gonna switch to full auto. There we go. Burst is fine. Burst will generally kill them. No. You stop moving. Focus this one. Oh, I guess we should probably worry about like the yeah, we should probably worry about that. That thing will set things on fire. No, thankfully there's a lot of armor, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh, yeah, that's a bit of an issue, huh? Maybe we should focus on this one. Yeah, before we get burned to death, this thing is not going good. Wow, that drive sprocket's getting deleted. Okay. Let's keep a good distance away for now. Okay, and car's still fine. Rotate back. Just gun down whatever's approaching. Switch to full auto. Maximize the chance of destroying whatever pops up. Come on. So far so good. There's only 4 remaining. Let's get your name ready to assist here, and then you're gonna come here. Maybe we should try to have someone put out the fire. Okay, so you're putting the fire out. Fantastic. Ooh, okay. So far so good. We're still alive. Fire's being put out. Okay, good. Then we're gonna have you just pivot down here. Okay, this, I will say, the tank really does just kind of skew power and balance the player. Oh wait, I think we got it all. Fantastic. All right, we'll just untrap that. But right now, it's my only real tool to deal with the mechanoids, so I am okay abusing it. Let's get more bullets in here. This thing ripped through almost its entire stack. You can only really use it like once before it kind of runs out. Or I guess you can about put 2 stacks worth. So that's fine. Okay, I do need to use the restroom in a bit, but let's at least deconstruct this. Let's make sure we're allowed to grab all the actually, I'm just gonna do an allow all command. And hope nothing bad happens while I go try to get everything built. Okay, so far so good. We need more entertainment. That's the other thing in this colony that I keep forgetting. The colonists need something to not lose their absolute minds over. And also these are going to be linking them together. Okay, whoops. I did not mean to do that. Okay, so I did not mean to link all of them together. Okay, link these. And then these are linked together, and these should be for raw foods. And then these will be for medicines and prosthetics. I think is going to be what we're going to do. So medicines, every type go in here. And that should be fine. Okay, so then I need to figure out how we're going to set up the expanded version of our hydroponics system, which is also very expensive that I can barely afford. I don't really have enough steel to do everything I'm trying to do because we have to make more bullets, and steel's expensive. We only have like 275 in here. We need more components. Oh my goodness, it's just not enough materials. We don't even have enough bedrooms for this too, which is another big issue. Okay, but we'll worry about that in a second. I want to focus on one thing at a time. You know what? I think I might actually add a 3rd bedroom to these. I think that probably makes the most sense. But I'm not sure how I want to redesign this quite yet. For now, let's just focus on getting everything built. Primarily getting the slate blocks so we can build more stuff. We're going to need more of these defensive turrets. And hopefully, if we survive, let's go haul these in. Haul all 100. All right. You can stare at this screen of the Humanity Restoration Society for a bit longer. Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. Install energy circulators, which is the upgrade to our arc. And then I think after that we can start doing the better arcs. I think we need to go on a quest and find the other arcs is specifically the requirement. But I think we have to wait until that quest pops up, so it'll be a bit of time anyways. All right. Let the game run right here. I'll be right back. Give me one moment. Konnichiwa gon, mina slimes. I don't know what the rest of the Japanese English Toronto brain rot is, but that's all I remember. I still can't believe that guy has popped off because of that. You know what? I deserve to have things thrown at me for saying that. Hi, Garm. How are you? I have only myself to blame. I get it. I can't believe the brain rot has spread. I am all for the brain rot spreading, okay? I am part of the brain rot problem. How are you, Garm? How have you been, comrade? Did you know that I've been playing Tropico? Because I don't know if that was a game you've ever mentioned. Like, you might have said it like once or twice, but I have been thoroughly having fun playing the role of El Presidente, and it has been an enjoyable experience. Also, comrade Katya is about to freeze to death. Oh my gosh, Katya has a bad back and is frail. I think just because you joined us, I'm going to no, I guess we don't have to liberate you. Let's get, hold on. How long till we get Bionic Spine? Okay, oh, it's actually not that far. We can actually get to that point. Yeah, okay, we can get to Bionics at some point. Let's get you out of here. Just give it time. In due time, everything will become better. It will just take a while until all the pain and suffering goes away. Aaron's stash of valuables, including a book named The Testament of Shards. I don't think I care. Okay, let's just focus on getting the steel that we need. That's the big priority. Steel will help improve our production, and then as we are able to get more and more steel with more pulse drills, we can, you know, accelerate our, you know, what we need. And we'll also need to improve our research, because our research is kind of hot doo-doo right now. So let's also fix that as well. Maybe we can add in a factory research terminal, which will require I think that's 4 AI chips. I think that's 4 AI chips, right? Okay, so that's gonna require down to building long blade rifles for the Gundam now. Oh, aren't those like super thin though? Good luck. Those are never fun, but I understand. Oh, is someone gonna go blind? Ooh, who's it gonna be? Who's gonna suffer today? Okay, also we have no swords, that's fine. Let's not set these to do that. We'll haul these when we're ready. That's a lot of slate chunks that we can't do anything with yet. Who's dying? Okay, can Comrade Katya just not go outside anymore? I think what we're gonna do is, because you're just gonna stay in the warm zone. Bernie's also gonna stay in the warm zone until we can get we can find some way to get you more toasty, because right now you're a bit freezing cold. It's not ideal. In fact, I might actually change the temperatures to all these just a little higher if I can click the dang thing, but I can't. I think it's not that big of a deal. It's just something I'll have to keep in mind. Like, I think here, for example, like, this is not enough. This one will probably need to crank up by like another 10 degrees. Anything that has to connect to a second room has to go up. Okay, so Comrade Joker has gone blind. But the blindness went away? I guess it was temporary? Yeah, okay, I guess it was a very short-term blindness. You're fine. Yeah, no, you're perfectly fine, surprisingly. Okay, these are gonna be important storage, and then we can just haul the actual herbal meds out of there, dump them in there. And then soon we'll have this thing ready to go once we get the remaining plasteel in there. Just gotta find it and haul it over. Even with all this snow, we're still trying to make it work, right? Oh, tomorrow, by the way, I forgot to, I don't know if I mentioned this, but if you saw on Discord, we will be doing Xenonauts 2 again tomorrow. I really enjoyed it. So I figured, you know what? I'm willing to stream this one more day. Maybe one more day after that. We'll see. It really was fun, though. I like really enjoyed... I really enjoyed it. So... we'll see how far we go on in Xenonauts 2. The main thing is that it is kind of unfortunate that it's the same genre as XCOM, but it is still different enough that I'd be like, all right, it's fine. Plus, I can still make everyone suffer by enlisting you forcibly. Yeah, unfortunately, like Xenonauts, just I didn't click with it at the time. Obviously, my game tastes change a little bit over time as well. Okay, so now we got 2 pulse mark drills. Hopefully, these 2 turrets are enough. We may need better defenses at some point. I'd like to have built like another ring, and I probably will at a later point build a second ring, but for now this is gonna have to suffice. And these are not enough wind turbines, by the way. Like, I'm gonna need more. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up like I'm gonna turn this area into like a wind farm, which means I'm gonna need to create a big wall that just kind of, you know, extends from here to here. Actually, with enough slate, I could probably just make it a slate blocks, and then I can seal it off, and then I can just make a giant stack of wind turbines. In fact, let's get that set up now, so I don't have to worry. Just basically a giant slate wall like this, and then seal this off, and maybe we can put a nice little door like that, and then we can be good to go. Actually, you know what game I've been wanting to play again recently? Menace. I haven't played Menace in quite some time, and it's been on my list of I should probably continue playing this game, shouldn't I? Type deals, but again, lack of time is just killer, and there's only so many things I'm able to stream on a week. I have played Nova Roma on my off time, like off stream, and I think I've more or less reached the end of what you can do in the game currently. It is a very fun game. I think Nova Roma is actually a really good game with a lot of potential, but just needs more stuff in it, I think, is the best way to describe it. Maybe in due time I think it'll be a great game, but for now it's functional. All right, here's our giant wood-fired arc. So it needs to operate uninterrupted for 30 days in order to install the adjustable burn cylinders. You can also overdrive it for 5 days, which will let it rip through the fuel, but also make more energy. So basically, it's the same thing as in Frostpunk, where you can put it to overdrive. The main problem is we don't have any wood. So, I'm at a loss now what to do. Because the upgraded variants required us to follow the quest lines that will unlock the rest of it, but those are also going to take some time before we can unlock more of the arc generator content, which is also annoying. And so we have to wait until, I guess, the quests start popping up. Until then, it's just kind of a waiting game. Yeah. It's just a waiting game until we get more of it. I guess we could go trade with people. We could also try to knock out this weather controller that's been slapping us with a fog storm, but it's not really that important, I think. I think we're just okay just waiting. Worst comes to worst, we could just kind of haul over here and with a little truck and then maybe buy things, but for now, not needed. Let's just build this out and we can set up our... We can move our wind farm over there and we can start setting up this area to be better. I do want to crack this open, though. It's what? A Scorcher, Militor, and a Lancer? A Scyther? I think this could be easily ripped apart. Given, you know, if you do it properly. What else am I gonna do? Oh, the other thing I forgot is, we have XCOM on Wednesday. I haven't added any of the new characters yet that people are requesting at some point. Well, hello, Bong Bong from the Records. How are you, comrade? How have you been? Let's see. Sorry, I was just clicking something. Hopefully you've been doing good. Welcome to our little colony of misfits and misadventures where it's very cold and we don't have enough beds for everyone, and I have to figure out how I'm gonna make more beds. So that's kind of our big problem right now. We may need more batteries here. I don't have enough steel for more batteries. Thankfully, this thing is outputting a decent amount of steel, so that's a good sign. At least we can just grind that out. You can't sleep. What's wrong with the sleeping? This just needs chunks, right? Okay, so in that case, why don't we... Actually, no, slate's fine. Just do this out of slate is okay. I want sun to get over here and start making me concrete. I need more concrete, dang it. I need this concrete. Okay, so Comrade Katya is at least able to functionally work, although with the bad back, that's really rough. Now, we are getting bionics, so hopefully we can get bionic backs for the people that are missing it, but I don't have a way to make advanced components automatically, so we'd have to find a way to set up the auto fabricators at some point. We are running out of power. We are now actually in the net negative. Oh, because our generator ran out of... Okay, you know what? Hold on. I know this is again cheaty, but we can pretend that we have... Normal... If this was Frostpunk, there would be an infinite supply of wood, so... I'm gonna pretend we have an infinite supply of wood. Because otherwise you literally can't progress through the quest line, so... I think this is okay to do. Okay, there we go. We should have an infinite supply of wood because of the quest line. Just gonna leave which moves worse now. Oh, are you watching the vertical stream? There's a button that you can press for the classic view. I can turn that off if people actually hate it. I guess people don't really like it. Maybe I should just get rid of it. It's one of those things that I'm like, oh, it's kind of a cute function. Maybe we'll keep it. But then I think everyone just kind of hates it. So maybe I'll just turn it off forever. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it bothers you. Okay, so let's get this loaded up now so we can actually get this thing operating. All right, so I'm gonna have Ranu. Oh wait, let's have your name fuel this up. Perfect. Okay, so now we have the electricity we need. The super arc is running. It needs to run for 30 days uninterrupted. That's a lot of wood that it's gonna need, but I think we should have enough. And then eventually we will convert this to alternative variants, like a geothermal one is the one I would like, but I'm not sure if we can get to it. I'm not sure if we're allowed to. I need to build one of these over here would be great, so I can protect this northern flank as well, but I guess the game doesn't want me to right now, so, you know, small problems. And as we get the concrete mix, we can start getting all this other stuff built out. Like, this stuff has to be built yesterday. There we go. Look at all that concrete. Okay. I think that might be enough concrete. We might need to start making the other stuff now. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll switch to slate blocks after this. Perfect. What was the other thing I was mentioning? I forgot to talk about. Oh shoot, people are dying. Oh, poor son hasn't had a chance to get a meal. You might want to eat some soup real quick, buddy. You know what? I wonder if we could move into not simple soups, but I wonder if we can afford to do fine soups now. Fine soups are basically the same amount of ingredients. It's just you split it half and half between the meat and the meat and grains, meat and plant matter. So this might actually be fine. Why don't we do this until we have 2 sitting around? Same as before. Now the only thing is I have to go through each of these and basically put in a process that says make fine soups, which is kind of annoying. We could also do a gourmet soup, which would be even better, but I don't have anything to use it. Okay, you're on your laptop? Well, welcome back from the land of the laptops. Oh wait, hold on. I think I can just do this like copy. Okay, cool. I can just paste it in each of these. Thank goodness. Because a fine soup will take about 2 days to manufacture. And it's probably better that we at least give ourselves a little bit better to eat. Better foods to eat, I think is fine. So by giving everyone access to slightly nicer soups. The main issue is I'm not sure where I'm going to get all the meat, but I think I can convert tofu into meat, right? I think tofu counts as a meat product if you grow soybeans and press it. So it is an option. Or we can just try to focus on whenever we find an animal, we kill it. It's annoying to shift the views into disorienting. Also having chat appear in the chat is so annoying. Overhaul. Okay. So if it's really bad, I can turn it off myself. Don't worry. Could you buy chickens? If I could buy chickens, that'd be great. But the problem is, I don't know where I'm going to buy chickens. I need 4 AI chips. I forgot about this. I need 4 of these. That's 16 components and 40 steel. That's a lot of steel. All right, that's fine, because at least we have 2 pulse drills working around the clock. Comrade Katja keeps going into like the weird cold areas. Maybe we should not allow this to happen anymore. We gotta get Comrade Katja like something warm. What do I have access to? Musk ox fur, right? I think if we just make more I think the solution is we just make more reconnaissance cloaks. If everyone has a reconnaissance cloak, it'll be okay. I think that's gonna be my logic. No, get back there and make me a reconnaissance cloak. We could trade, yeah. The nearest trading point is over here, which would take the Zojirushi approximately about a 6-day journey, 6 days back, which is not the end of the world. All right, have a good night, son. Rest well. Last time we were in chat, I was doing Minecraft 10. Oh, that was a bit ago. That server's still online. I just don't play Minecraft really because I don't like playing Minecraft that much. So, you know, if you're wondering, that's why. You must assign the role of a high Stellarch to start this ritual. What? Hold on, that doesn't make sense. Shrine of Age. Why does it say I need a high stellarch? I don't need a high stellarch for this. What? Is this broken? This might be broken. You yearn for the mines. I mean, Xanth, if you're in the colony, I could send you the mines. Oh, we do have a spare person named Bernie. I guess we should just see who's in the queue. No one's in the queue right now, so I guess if someone ever wants to be in the queue, they can claim a new soul. Running integrated graphics. Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, if you don't have a good computer, then that's understandable. And it's toxic fallout. Fantastic. Just the words I hate to read. Okay. Well, I guess we have to deal with that at some point. As annoying as it be. Find a way to survive this. I remember I used to game on a integrated laptop. It sucks. So don't worry, I understand your pain. You just have to kind of deal with it, right? You can't really do much about it. Sword boy still around to kick the bucket. We have a sword boy. Havel's the sword specialist, still alive and hanging around. Although with the toxic fallout, it's going to be a little rough. There's a cluster of cargo pods filled with... Well, there is a Mastodon kid leather shirt, which doesn't really matter. We'll just have to try to get this built out. Probably get this one to Comrade Katya. I think Comrade Katya needs this. We're going to have Comrade Katya go over here. And then hopefully we avoid the toxic fallout as much as possible, because it is getting very poisonous outside. Okay, you finished making this. Okay, and then I'm going to have you drop that, and we're going to give it to Comrade Katya. Alright, now Comrade Katya will be very cold surviving, I think, right? Yes, you're good to -70 now. You're sword boy? Wait, what do you mean? You're not in the colony, though. We have a lot. We do have one person that uses a sword, but I don't know who you're referring to in particular. Okay, we're just gonna let this run. Let everyone have their happy time. Okay. And then we need to figure out what to do next to survive. We could upgrade our firearms, which actually might not be the worst idea. So we have ARs. We could add attachments to the assault rifles if we have enough steel, which we unfortunately do not right now. The toxic fallout's really annoying. I don't know how long that toxic fallout's gonna last, but I hope it doesn't last forever, because otherwise we're just gonna be stuck here indoors waiting for things to happen. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I did not know you changed your name. But for now until later, you're stuck with an option to play on this laptop. Next time you can upgrade to proper desktop. I hope you're not going to pay out the butt for PC parts is all I can say. Because, boy, I've seen the price of computer parts nowadays. It's rough. Even SD cards. Okay, so I was looking at SD card prices, right? Because I have electronics that need SD cards. So, I bought a micro SD card for my Steam Deck last month. It cost me about $70 for a ½ terabyte. I checked the price of that same SD card the other day. It is now over $100. And I was just like, excuse me? Like, who is approving of these prices? It's actually highway robbery. It's awful. I heard RAM prices were starting to drop a little bit, but SD cards have it really bad. Like, SD cards are like really bad right now, but I think everything else is starting to kind of recover bit by bit. But it's still going to be a while until we're back to normal, I think. Even Micro Center can't catch a break. The Steam machine is not coming out for a while anymore because of it too, so... You know, we all have to suffer. Maybe I should just put a roof here. I guess they can just survive walking through the toxic buildup a little bit. Because it just goes away. In due time. Yeah, they're not going to be suffering too much. We should probably figure out what we want to do about this, though. I guess we should crack it open. There's like a crate. Oh, we'll wait until later. You already have 1 terabyte on your laptop you can rip out for your new desktop, so you have the same money there. I mean, I think, yeah, memory is really bad, and then obviously RAM is just really, really rough. So, yeah, I hope you're able to figure something out, because it's not going to be easy. Give me improved automatic quarries. I would like the improved quarries. Okay, here we go. Okay, this tech tree is hot doo-doo for some reason. Let's see. Complex machine applications. I guess we have to grab that at some point. And then improved automatic agriculture would also not be a bad idea too. But I would like the automatic drills instead, which I can't really afford to do. I'm pretty sure there's like one more step above what we have. Oh, you know, I just realized we never got Bashi in this run. It just came to mind, like we just never got a Bashi. And we've somehow survived. Wow, the game's a little easier when you don't have to make sure a little dog doesn't explode every 5 seconds. How are you doing, Kefir? Yeah, this game's not that bad when I'm not trying to make sure this dog doesn't die on us. Should I still summon Bashi, or should we just let Bashi not exist in this timeline? Maybe Bashi just couldn't survive the harsh, cold weather, and that's why Bashi's not here. I could see that being the case logically. And this thing's not hooked up to the power grid, is it? Nope. All right, we gotta run power. All right, fill this entire thing up with power. You're EP, but you're doing fine. Well, hopefully you can relax here. Everyone, it always seems like there's a lot of EP people around, and that's okay. I was super sleepy yesterday, but I survived. I mentioned this earlier, but I was dealing with being out and about all day, and it's rough, is to say the least. But I survived anyways because I had no choice. I needed to survive because I was out and about like a state away so I could do archery. Your GPU you're aiming for is gonna be Pog. What GPU are you planning on getting? That's the real question we gotta be asking. What GPU? Okay, a Sapphire. Okay, Sapphire Nitro Radeon RX 9060. Okay, let's see. What is the NVIDIA equivalent? Because I only know GPUs in NVIDIA terms. Okay, came out in 2025. 16 gigs of VRAM. Although these prices are probably out of date. Let's see. It seems to be approximately equivalent to a. Okay, so this seems to be equivalent to like a 4070. It's like a 4060 Ti with more RAM. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Hello, Garmor. Is it in Quito, Wisconsin? In the great city of Milwaukee, which is a very long drive, and I am not going to be doing this every week because I'm gonna die. I'll probably do it like every other week, realistically, moving forward, because I do need to do it more frequently. It turns out, I don't know if it's just me being bad, but I was trying to shoot, and I think the target I was using was either really thick or I do not have very good strength, because I kept bouncing off of the target, which was a little ridiculous. I'm like, okay, this is nuts. So I think I'm just I might not have the strength necessary. Because to be fair, this is kind of like the first time I've ever shot the Yumi. So if you don't know what I'm talking, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I do Japanese archery, and it's a very fun activity. I'll say that much. It's not easy. I'll tell you that much too. And one of the problems that I was running into is that it's very, like, I used to shoot a 10 kilogram bow, and I switched to a 12 kilogram bow, which requires a lot more strength in your arm, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a very strong person, so I was having a bit of issue trying to actually, you know, draw the damn thing, which was like, okay, I just need more practice is the short and simple of it. And, you know, give me enough time and it'll be fine, but until then it's just a bit of a struggle. But it's fun, and I'm glad I was able to actually finally use my Yumi properly. I should name my bow, because let's be real, all people, obnoxious people, name their weapons, right? So I should be one of those obnoxious people and name my weapons too, should I not? Also, let's stop making some soup. There's a lot of soups we don't need. Does Rano still consume baby food? Probably, right? I guess we'll just keep an eye on that. Nitro card, kind of 8 gigs of RAM. I am a weeb. I know what I am. I know what I am. I'm a weeb, and it's true. I'm so sorry that you all had to find out this way. That I'm a weeaboo. How tragic. The VTuber streamer that you've been watching this whole time is a degenerate weeb. How could I have betrayed you all like this? I'm so sorry. Where's the thing that I wanted to make? Oh wait, it was the weapon module table. There we go. We're gonna start making weapon modules. We're gonna start upgrading our guns. One of the mods I installed allows you to customize your weapon. You can add like receivers, sights, barrels, muzzles, ammo, all these other bits and pieces to your firearms. So I figured, why not? Let's let people customize their guns. So if you have a gun, we can customize it depending on what you want. But yeah, it's I don't want to go to the toxic city. That sounds awful. Can the toxic fallout just go away instead? Because I don't want it to be everyone's starting to suffer from you know what? I'm just gonna let everyone stay inside now. This toxic buildup's getting a little ridiculous. Yeah, let's not go out there anymore. Let's just stay inside where it's safe from the poisonous air until the poisonous air eventually goes away, because the toxic buildup's getting a little nasty. Now, I don't mind them walking in between buildings, but this toxic fallout's got to go away at some point. Yeah, even Alana's getting affected by that. Look at that, 1.9%. It's getting bad. Okay. Yeah. There's only so much I can do about this, too. Ugh. I guess the only choice is to make people be like Ranu and just stay indoors the whole time. Or I can put a roof. I don't want to build a roof over this though. I've been trying to avoid building a roof as much as I can, because I like the sunlight, and you know, probably makes the most sense. Although maybe putting a roof wouldn't be the worst idea, except just keeping it open in the center here, or on the arc would be okay too. Yeah, just let the toxic buildup go away, because they are starting to get affected by it. Consciousness science was 10% on a lot of people. You saw 16 gig for $200. 16 gigs used to be like $50, and now it's $200. That's the clown world that we live in. $200 used to get you like 32 gigs of RAM, or even 64. Oh. The fact that 16 for 200 is reasonable is just clown world shenanigans. It sucks, but you know, it's the time we live in. Also, I have way too many garbage saves. I'm gonna start deleting these. I don't need this one. So many new arrivals ones I don't need. This. We never got the event to do like the renaming of the colonies, so that's what's the annoying thing. Okay, there's also a cloak here. Okay. Let's start building up the rest of the colony. So first of all, we need more bedrooms, right? You know what? I'm gonna turn this one into a slightly different. So I'm gonna try a different design for this area, for bedrooms, and we're gonna make these a little. Thank God I didn't do that. We're gonna make this a little more cramped, but I think this will be okay. Okay, so we can do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do. How do I want to do this? How do I actually want to design this? Oh wait, hold on. I have an alternative idea. Okay, why don't we do this? Let's move this out here. You can stick it into the ice. It'll be fine, I'm sure. And I think what we'll do is each room should have about 2. So we can do bedroom 1. It's a little cramped. Let's extend it out by 1 tile. And then room 2, room 3. That's really tight, but I think that's workable. Yeah, let's try this. I'm kind of curious. We're just gonna pretend this is an alternative design and see how this one pans out. It's probably not gonna be great, but it'll function, which is what matters in the grand scheme of things. And we're just gonna put in a bunch of auto doors. Oops, this one needs it here, and here. Okay, and then this one should be a standard wall. We can seal that up, and then we'll need to run pipes through this entire thing too. So what's the usual? So we need heating pipes everywhere, and we're gonna need. Okay, no, I did not want to make that a steel. Make it out of slate. We have slate. Okay, make it out of slate. Fill this in too. But yeah, I know if you're just building a PC now, it's definitely a lot different from how when I built my PC. It definitely still sucks. I'm hoping one day that it gets, you know, the Rampocalypse ends, and I'm seeing, like, you know, some good news that it might be recovering, because, you know, OpenAI is basically on the verge of bankruptcy, and they basically couldn't commit to buying the entire world's RAM supply, because who would have guessed that buying the world's RAM supply was going to cost them a more $1 billion. So, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it's always temporary, right? In due time, it will go away. Let's throw this on here so that I can put this, well, wait for that bridge to be made. Then I can put another thing on top of that. But we gotta wait until the toxic fallout ends, and who knows? It's negative 69 degrees outside. So we definitely don't want people going outside right now due to the intensity of the toxins out there. However, I will require someone to go fill up my arc reactor, so I will have Alana do this for the time being. This one is no 24GB DDR5 kit, because that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you'd be doing, what, 2 16s and 2 8s? Or so you'd be doing, like, what, 2 8s and, or like an 8 and a 6? It really doesn't really make sense. So a lot of times, yeah, it's gonna be like multiples of powers of 2. So 2, 4, 6, or 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Personally, I run 64. Based on my usage, I definitely couldn't use a computer if I did not have the full 64 gigs of RAM, because I like to keep like 50 different Chrome tabs open. I really need to switch web browsers. I have been meaning to get out of I've been meaning to get out of Chrome for quite some time. Hello, Ithiana. Yes, it is no longer Nekograd. It's a frostpunk colony. It's negative 79 degrees outside, negative 79 Celsius. So that gives you any idea how bad it is. That's how bad it is. It's very cold. So we're doing our best to survive, but due to the toxic fallout, I'm trying to keep everyone kind of out here for the time being until we're able to get back to our own personal homes, which is also a bit of a difficult thing to do right now. So we get the bathrooms built out too. So what do we need? I could probably start moving to actual toilets, but that's going to require me to build septic tanks. I need septic tanks. Let's throw septic tanks and throw that on top of here. And then Havel's at least researching here. Even with this many, even with this reaction cranks by another 10, we might be able to make this a little warmer. Even with the double radiator, it's still not hot enough to heat up this room. Do I need another radiator? I might need another radiator. Run another pipe like this way. Yeah, so it's just very cold. But we got a cool generator in the center that produces a amount of power. It's trying its best to, you know, chug and keep us all alive, but it's not ideal. And we're waiting for the next generator event to pop so that I can expand our little adventure. There's a way to get better generators, but I think we gotta get this one to the highest rank. So this has to run for 30 days uninterrupted at max capacity. So I'm just spawning in wood. And we now have drills that are making large amounts of steel, so I don't have to worry about running out of steel for the time being. I mean, motivation is play stuff like Minecraft mods and more than 300 FPS. Let's be real though, like, okay, so here's the thing. Even if you have more than 200 FPS, you have to keep in mind, unless you have a monitor that also can go higher than that, there's not a point having that much FPS. Realistically, you'll be fine with 120 is usually kind of like my sweet spot. You have a 244 hertz monitor? Okay, never mind. Go ham then. Have fun. Don't forget to install all the crazy shaders so your game can look as pretty as can be. That's the most important part, that your game is pretty, okay? Nothing else matters in this world. It's all about graphics. It's all about the graphics. Sun and Z Opposer are now getting married, which means they need to start sharing a bed. Okay. I guess they'll take this one. It's all about the graphics. This man who plays Rimworld. Listen, with Rimworld, the graphics are all about my imagination and what I think it looks like in my head. That's totally how this works. It's like reading a book, but you're playing a game, and also the game is trying to kill you at every turn. That's how it totally works, right? That's how it absolutely works. Let's be real. By the way, I love how they all have like the brown cloaks. That's the only way they keep themselves warm. I just realized that this thing doesn't. Wait, is it because the head is thin? Why does it not line up? Oh, it might be the head shape actually. Oh, it is the thin head. So if we do the normal size head, then it lines up correctly. Oh, we can... Okay, wait, we can make you look mad. All right, let's do the normal face. That's fine. Gaslighting yourself, think it's 4K graphics, clearly. Listen, if I wanted to play a super high graphics city builder, I would just play City Skylines 2, which people have complaints about, and I have complaints about it, but I have hopes and dreams that maybe one day I'll have a good city builder that's not just Traffic Simulator 2020 insert year, which every city builder nowadays seems to be because no one's creative and no one wants to go back to the era of SimCity where there's actual challenge and things you have to worry about in your city instead of just plopping down. My God, have I complained about city builders recently? Have I complained about modern city builders? I tried Workers and Resource Soviet Republic, and it's fine, but I quite frankly don't believe it's the game for me. It's a fun game, but sometimes the mechanics are a little obtuse, and I feel like even though I know Garmy told me, oh, just play without these mechanics, like if I see it, I'm going to want to play with all the mechanics available. No, so here's the thing. Workers and Resources of the Soviet Republic is a different challenge than SimCity, right? So here's the reason why I say SimCity is like the peak example of like what a city builder should be. City builders, you basically can divide into like 3 categories, right? There's essentially like there's what I like to call sandboxy or model city builders, right? Like City Skylines. And then there's games that are more resource like resource extraction games, like base builders, which I kind of put Soviet Republic into. Yeah, it's like a resource management game basically. And then there's like city builders where there's a huge emphasis on mechanics like city civics, right? Like managing population, like what your population wants, whether, and like balancing police need, road, and a very strict budget. And that's where SimCity ultimately shines. City Skylines, it's really easy to get to a point where you just have so much money and you can build whatever you want, and it becomes mostly a game about making a pretty city. Holy cow, a lot of people have contracted diarrhea. Ouch. Oh, you know why? Because they haven't had a chance to shower. Okay, I know why. Let me fix this real fast. We probably need to start... Oh, we need to start adding more areas where it's safe for them to be in. Yeah. Can't confirm. I keep playing... Does what hygiene Thursday, but also on mechanic case. No, to be fair, I've turned off thirst. We keep on the bathing and hygiene and toilet mechanics, but I think we can assume that they're always drinking when they need to drink, so if it makes you feel any better, we're not doing that anymore. Okay, this toxic buildup is getting a little ridiculous. How much longer until this goes away? Dang it. I would like it to go away. You've been enjoying Risk of Rain 2. One FPS is unplayable. I don't know how you survive that. Okay, where did I get this other person? We got this person named Gentry, and we got another person named Reed. All right, I guess... Oh, it's a child. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna teleport you over here, buddy. I guess we have a daycare now. Okay, so this is Reed. He has a very strong jawline. I'm gonna make it less strong. Hello, Immortal. I think your pawn... Were you in this run? If you died, I might not have... Maybe I didn't get a chance to bury you. Let me take a look at the... Yeah, Yeah, I don't think we had you in this run yet. But if you'd like to join, you're free to join. We got 3 fresh bodies. You can become Bernie, the pacifist organ farm. You could become Gentry, the jeweler who's constantly bemused and has pretty good at shooting. Or you could be Reed, the poor 3-year-old child that we picked up. I don't know what happened to your pawn, I'm sorry. But unless you got captured, but even still. Did we have you in this run? That's why I'm like confused. Okay, this wedding ceremony is still ongoing. I think the wedding ceremony got stuck. They're still getting married. I don't know what's going on. What's going on? They're stuck. You're on the land. Wait, did I not copy you over? Why am I? That's so weird. Okay, hold on. I need to figure out. Let me figure out this problem first. Like, I don't know why this wedding ceremony is just stuck. Like, they're not doing anything. Okay, there we go. Let's just cancel it. Okay. All right. How about this then, Immortal? I'll assign you to. Let's give you Gentry. At least Gentry can fight. You have no social or medical skill, but at least you're smart and can dig rocks. And the main problem is you have frail and inefficient, but I'll purge those for you. I cannot remember what your pawn actually had. So let's just get rid of this and this and anyone in the queue. Okay, so we're gonna assign this to artisan. There we go. Okay, there we go. We're gonna assign that to you. And now you're in the colony. Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Hopefully you will survive. We'll get you a rifle. Actually, unless you want a different gun. Let's see. We could probably get someone with an LMG at this point. We probably need an LMG. So why don't we make one? And do we have anything else? Oh, you know, we need a sniper, don't we? I guess we should probably get one sniper rifle. No anti-material rifles right now, though. Don't worry, I used to game on integrated graphics for a very long time, and it was rough, but that's when I was a little kid and I didn't exactly have money to buy PC stuff. But now that I'm an adult and I can spend money on things, I can do what I desire. Wow, everyone's getting diarrhea. I think it's because the water in this is poisoned, and we probably need to purge the water. Yeah. I think we gotta drain the tank. Because I think the toxic is killing the water. Wait, who's saying is that? Because it's so true. Me looking at all the stuff that I bought because I have money and I can buy things. Like how I'm an adult and I can buy my own camera now. Which Ray's like, why? I don't know why you're buying a fancy toy, but okay. And I'm just like, yeah, but it's a fun toy. Also, we're just gonna quickly, I'm just gonna change their ideologies. I don't really want to worry about this. Just quickly flip their ideologies because I don't really want to figure this out. Perfect. I mean, I have absolutely no plan to clear it. You know what you should do? Buy one of those portable gaming machines, like a Steam Deck. You will... There's a decent chance you might be able to start working through your backlog. Or you end up like me and you just end up replaying games that you've already played before. Which I wish I was joking when I said that, but I'm not joking. It's very true, unfortunately. We can sell off 1,000 chem fuel. And I think we buy their meds and probably their steel. Probably buy their plant. Oh, I can't afford all that. That's a little expensive. Sell the mastodon tusks. Probably don't buy the steel, but I definitely want to buy the plasteel. Ooh, we could buy H3. And we could buy H2 in He3, which but we're not doing that for this run, so no. In that case, I will sell off 2,000 chem fuel and purchase all their plasteel, their medicine, and a single advanced component. Buy their actual components too. There we go. I think you should get a second-hand SSD from CX. I mean, it's up to you. I generally prefer if my SSDs are brand new, but that's more of a me thing. Kind of depends on what you're comfortable with. Is there any way to make this toxic fallout go away, or is it just going to be here forever and we're just going to deal with this? Wait, could we afford to just give everyone their own hospital rooms? Can I afford this? I don't think I can afford everyone having their own hospital room, right? No, it seems a little too much. It seems a little excessive. No, I shouldn't. It's tempting, but I think we won't. Let's just do... We'll do the usual of just setting up like a big old room with stuff. It's unnecessary, but it's cool. Okay, it's about the cool factor, the coolness factor. All right, let's just at least put this one down here, and that should be fine. I didn't measure a lot of this out, so that's kind of like the main issue too. Like how a lot of this is designed is just kind of a mess. I would like this toxic fallout to end so I can actually do things. Wow, look at that. Toxic fallout just magically ended. Okay. You know what? I probably should add an actual surgery room. That's a good point. That would actually be kind of sick. Okay, this child Reed is gonna die unless I keep him in the warm area. So why don't we do this? We're gonna keep Boomy in the warm area, Reed in the warm area, and then I believe those two children have to stay in the toasty zones. Otherwise, they're gonna freeze to death. Everyone else should be okay in the cold winter due to the fact that they have the cloaks, but the children cannot survive. They will die. It is negative 72 centigrade outside. Your laptop doesn't need 1 terabyte. You would be surprised. You will easily fill up 1 terabyte of space before you realize it, because games nowadays especially take up way more space than you would expect. Especially if as you're building a new PC and you want to play, you know, those AAA titles, you could easily expect like 100 to 200 gigabytes of space just for a single game. How do I know this? Because I play one of those AAA games regularly. Unfortunately, I am a consumer of AAA slop every now and again. Specifically Battlefield, and let's just say Battlefield 6 is like 100 gigabytes, and it's only Season 2. It's a little ridiculous, to say the least. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. Don't be like me. Play better games, okay? Don't be like me and play bad games. You have so many choices out there. Oh, right, I forgot we have a lot of bad backs. Oh, this guy's got Go Juice addiction. We don't have Go Juice. You're not getting. No, I'm not gonna deal with that. Okay. Oh my goodness, we can put bionics now. Okay, so we need 2 bionic backs. Okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna set up 2 back. We need a bionics workbench, and we're gonna make 2 backs, which is gonna be expensive. You know, once you get your desktop, all this laptop will play as Firefox, Discord, or an occasional indie game. Okay. I mean, you could also use it to, I don't know. You could use it as a... You could repurpose it as like a streaming box. Not like a box to stream to Twitch, but I mean, you know, a media server, which is a very, very cool thing to do if you know what to do and how to do it. Is all I'm gonna say. It's an option. It exists. Do you have choices? You have the power. Okay, is this built now? Okay. And Comrade Katya botched the wall, unfortunately. Because Comrade Katya has a bad back and also is frail, and we need to fix that, which will require us to make... I don't have an advanced fabricator, do I? I don't think I have an advanced fabricator. Now, I can build one, which I probably should. I need to make a dedicated production room, which I think I'm just going to slap over here. How is this set up over here? So let's go inner. So it would be... Oh my... I need to stop doing this. This autofill tool is going to be the end of me. And it deleted all these walls too that I was working on. Okay, so switch this back to this tool. And let's just hope that I can remember how a lot of this is supposed to be drawn. Because it got deleted. God, that's annoying. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this section of the area into essentially an auto fabrication room, I think. And the only thing people are going to find in here is just, well, auto fabricators that are working around the clock to ensure we have all the... I'm going to make it slightly less symmetric here. I'm okay breaking the symmetry now. Actually, no, we can just put it here. There we go. And then this entire room is just going to be filled with these auto fabricators, and that should be okay. Toxic buildup is annoying, but it's going to go away. I forgot Havel can't talk because she doesn't have a jaw. I think Linux will be allowing you to unlock your primary SSD. You could do that. You could. But why? Are you going to be using Linux as your primary OS? Is that your plan? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just kind of curious if that's actually your plan. This room's not warm enough. I need to put like a large radiator in there. I'll just put one of these in here. Let's no, it's fine. Just crank it up a little. See if 35 is enough to warm up this room. It might not be. And then we'll need to crank these up a little bit because we're burning through power. And let's get ready to move my entire wind farm down here. I can put about 4. I could probably put 5. Okay, 5 is enough. And then I'm just gonna try to move the power lines. Also encompass that. That way we have all the electricity we could need. It's just coming from down there. I don't use Linux myself. I'll just be honest with you. I'm very much a Windows person, primarily because I'm too lazy to switch to Linux, and also a lot of my streaming stuff, as in the tools that I use for streaming very much, and the games that I play are very much Windows, and so that's why I've not switched to Linux, even though I'm not stupid and I could probably figure out how to use Linux. Especially because there's like all these different builds now that make using Linux a lot simpler nowadays. I think a lot of people are sick and tired of Windows, like, you know, nonsense, but it's just kind of hard to pull away from Windows when you've been using it for so long. That's kind of how I feel, and that's kind of why I'm still, you know, I'm kind of stuck with it. I'm stuck with it this whole time, and I hate the things that they do, but what am I gonna do, right? Also, Immortal, would you like a sniper rifle or would you like a light machine gun? What is your weapon preference? And then I'm also going to give Comrade Katya probably an LMG, I guess, or whatever, whichever one you don't take. Okay, so alright, so Comrade Katya gets the machine gun kit, and then Immortal, we're gonna make a new kit for you. We're gonna take this copy loadout. We're gonna call this sniper. Swap this out for the sniper rifle, and we'll give you an AP round. We'll just give you about 50 is probably fine. And then let's also make sure we have enough munitions once we get the sniper rifle built, because we got to build one after the LMG's made, so that's the next step. Okay, so that should be fine. And then we're gonna start putting attachments. So for example, oh my goodness, a psychic soothe female actually helps a lot. All right, so for example, let's say Sun here deserves a better weapon. I could, for example, oh gosh, he needs an arm. He's missing an arm. Okay. All right, let's get these fabricators set up now, because I know I'm gonna need these. So the solution is we're gonna do probably one. No, wrong one. Oh, I can't. I wish I could use the auto refinery for poop. Unfortunately, it only takes wood, corn, potatoes, and rice, and not waste. What a that's a shame, but that's also fair. So we'll just use the auto fabricators. Probably just need 2 is fine, and then we can move these around. I think is okay, and we'll have to run some conduits probably to in here, and we'll have the materials stored in here as much as possible. Probably move the biofuel refinery at some point as well. It is very cheaty. You're not wrong. I am basically cheating. Okay. Plague Bringer Fair of Opera. I don't really want that. Let's not worry about that. Okay, I need to get some light. We need some light in here. What's some cool furniture? You know what these people need? They need end tables, right? A nice simple end table to remind them of the better times. Make it out of slate. There we go. Put one there. Put one there. Okay. Just give people a little bit of a taste of home. Okay, thankfully we have a lot of builders and they're able to at least get some stuff done, and then we'll have to heat this entire section up later, but that's a different problem. Our builders are going to be very, very busy for the foreseeable future. Thankfully we have a lot of them. Even though some of them suck. Like Bernie here is kind of awful, but you know, he's going to do his best. Can't really do much about that. Okay, make sure everyone's firefighting 1. Your primary doctor, I don't want you doctoring. Comrade Kacha can doctor. Nahil's high enough to do doctors, so we have enough doctors to go around. Perfect. Okay, and then the other child, Reed, we're going to have him prioritize cleaning while Ranu basically focuses on hauling. I think that makes sense. And then let's also make sure that they have enough time to be children. And also, since Airman Joker's an adult now, you have to actually do work and not just recreate the whole time. Time to work. Yes. Sorry, let me read this. That's a lot of text that you just posted. I'm sorry. But since Windows 7 went to end of life, you've been looking for alternatives. A good thing you switched to Windows 10 because you don't want to use Mac. But the Steam push Linux made it easier than Windows 7, of course. Yeah, I refuse to use Win 11. They'll have to rip Windows 10 from my cold, dead, undying digital VTuber hands before I even consider switching to something as disgusting as Windows 11 and that adder-riddled abomination of a operating system. I don't need my operating system to sell me products. I need my operating system to just function. That's all I need it to do. And that's why people use Linux. Zombie model when? I don't think I'd ever do a zombie model. I like being human. The cat ears are enough of insanity as it is. What's next? Bunny ears? Dog ears? Fox ears? You know what's funny? The cat stuff actually does have does actually have a tail, which you don't really get to see very often, but I believe there is actually a tail on this. So the more you know. It's just never like really shown because of how low it is. But I guess the more you know. Right? Go to Jin-chama. Yeah, that's right. Can't believe I'm being forced to say this thing for entertainment. This is what I've been reduced to. Oh my goodness, the mirror just frozen again, I think. This keeps happening. Why is their wedding just frozen? I'm gonna cancel it. I don't know what's going on. It's super weird. I'll have to get married at some point, but it just keeps breaking in half, and I have no idea how to fix it. Anyways, we'll let Nahil yap at them, and everyone will be happy once the yapping is concluded. All you need your PC to do is go to the internet and play games. Exactly. Like, I don't need my PC to tell me, like, have you considered moving all your files to Microsoft OneDrive? No, I don't want to move it to OneDrive. Thank you very much. That's because how much OneDrive probably costs? No thanks, I am good. I do not need anything as horrible. Oh, we cannot afford to make any more super soups anymore. Unless we find more wild animals that come in and kill them. I need my builders to build more. But I guess they're trying to finish this up too. Oh, I forgot to run power. Yeah, I might need to run power through this. That might be important too. The main issue is that putting hidden conduits just takes a lot of like work for the colonists, and that's the other issue. I guess we gotta haul the steel around too. Let's also get this inside. I need to get that advanced components indoors, please. And then we need to make sure this thing is fueled up all the time. So I will order the we'll order Bernie to refuel this beautiful thing. To make sure this thing just has maximum fuel at all time. Or not. I guess they'll just do it once and they'll never do it again. These things are treating on just wanting to play games, yap on the internet. I mean, I assume the only thing you do is use something like Discord, right? Why is it always a mech hive? Oh my goodness, that's a termite. Okay, the mechs are getting a lot nastier. Are they attacking immediately? They are. Oh, okay. Well, that's All right, everyone to the safety zone. The game has decided that it no longer wants to fling anything else at me about mechanoids. Okay, so we're gonna get Umi in there as a driver, and then I'm gonna grab whoever's the closest person who can use a gun as a gunner. Everyone else who's a gunner needs to get ready to, I don't know, stand with the turret line. Okay, and then I'm just gonna run. We're gonna roll this thing over. Okay, bring it over here fast as we can. Oh, wait, that's super dumb. Okay, so I can't actually run it through the center because the wood-powered arc is too big. Okay. Get here as well. Get Ray here as well. We didn't get a chance to make those sniper rifles yet. We are working on the sniper rifle, though, so that's good. And Comrade Katya will assign the machine gun kit at some point as well. Turrets are going to start shooting, but I'm not sure if it's going to be able to do anything at this range, but we'll try. It is shooting down the termite. And then, obviously, the giant tank. We might just keep one of the tanks, so we might need a second tank. Oh! Okay, they can just destroy that. Got it. You should probably go... pull back. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's disgusting. The termite is gross. Okay. That termite is way nastier than I thought. That thump cannon is disgusting. What's the range on this thing? Okay, you know what? Screw it. Just full auto fire. Reload. Start blasting. Oh my gosh, that's really annoying. So all of my defenses just kind of became irrelevant. Okay. That's annoying. Okay, well anyways, they're coming in and we're just gonna gun them down. Yeah, that's not gonna survive. Okay, then the Scyther's gonna show up and then they'll get gunned down as well. Okay, Andra. Okay, let's pull you over here. So that's annoying. Okay, so these things are not going to survive a thumper because, good God, those things are obnoxious. Man, they do so much damage to walls and buildings, which I guess makes a lot of sense considering that's their whole point, but it's still annoying. Because now I have to rebuild all of this. Ugh. Alright, let's also draft Ray. Alright, let's also turn off emergency mode. Let's get everyone moving around again. See what we can do about this. Okay. Maybe we should get people tended to, like Sun, who is injured, and for some reason... let's do this. Let's reset all your logics. We really need to get this hospital built ASAP. But getting the rest of this built out is just super annoying. There's just so much stuff in this colony that needs to be done. Alright. Who's my builders here? Alright, Comrade Katya, your priority is now to build. And then, Comrade Nahil, your priority is to build and crafting if you don't got nothing to build. The only person who's prioritizing building or crafting is gonna be Rachel, who's actually pretty good at it. Well, researching instead. Okay, that's fine. Because, again, we gotta move these down here. Then we have to set up... Oh, gosh, this thing keeps being broken. We need to fix this wall. We gotta fix this up. And then we gotta rebuild the bunkers. Ugh. Okay, let's have Alana quickly deliver here. If we can just get these delivered to, then I think that'll be a lot quicker. Where are you going to grab? Why are we grabbing that steel? Not the one that's already here. That's a very strange thing to do. Okay. Basically, I'm trying to make sure that these have the requisite materials so that pawns don't have to keep running to get these built. And so whoever's ready to build will just build it. Did Twitch explode? I'm so sorry. Twitch tends to explode a lot. Humans can't survive this weather. I mean, humans can survive anything with enough faith and determination, right? Isn't that how it works? That's totally how it works, right? Okay, so once we got these auto fabricators, that'll be great. And then we got to get the power setup down here built also, which is also going to be a bit of a disaster to build. Wow, this takes a while. Actually, wait. There's a lot of moves at like a bajillion miles an hour. We can just have her deliver all the materials to each of these. And then someone else can just finish up the build. Yeah, that'll be fine. Perfect. Yes, deliver that steel. That's what I like to see. Okay, so your name, we're gonna have your name focus primarily on construction and then crafting secondary, as usual. Actually, no, art priority, secondary is that, and tertiary is that, that's fine. Okay. Do I have any pawn that sucks at everything else that I can just make them do cleaning and nothing else? Steve would ideally, but Steve also refuses to clean. I guess the best option would be Bernie. Ooh, I'm gonna turn into a cleaner hauler. Yeah, that's fine. I think we'll turn Bernie into cleaner hauler and then construction secondary, and that's fine. Mostly because I need to get things moved around to make sure things get actually built out. There we go. That's what I like to see. Okay, so this is gonna get built, ideally, into a fabrication room, a fabrication chamber, essentially. And I'm not sure how well it's gonna pan out, but we're gonna hope. When in doubt, hope. That's my solution. You're gonna use a Thermaltake TR100. Is that the one with the little screen on it? Thermaltake T100. TR100 mini chat. Oh, geez, this is a really small case. Oh, that's actually a really cute case. See, I kind of wish I built a small PC. Unfortunately, I went the opposite direction and went for the biggest case that I could buy. I'm not even joking. So, where's the image? Hold on. Where's the image? Hope on these thighs. There's only one thighs I have to hope for. It's okay. Do you want to see what my case here? I have an image that will explain what's going on in the game. Cold snap. Okay, hold on. You want to see like a height comparison between me and my PC case? There's a really old image when I was using Vroid, but it's like 50. It's like a fractal design defined 7XL, and it's like half a meter tall. It's big. It's 56.6 centimeters tall. It's comically large, and I don't know. I think I have like 9 Noctua fans in this stupid thing, and like 7 hard drives and SSDs combined, and a bunch of other stuff. How tall is Gura? Or Saba? Saba is officially 150 centimeters tall. Gura is officially 141 centimeters tall. So no, Gura's shorter. Gura's even shorter. The power supply is 2x more than the average size PC. I mean, it depends what you're like looking. Oh yeah, because you're going for a small build. I've built in mini ATX before, and I've bought server components that were mini ATX size that I shoved into a mini ATX case for a server. It's interesting. It's a challenge, I'll say that much, but it's a fun challenge to try to put together. Okay, wait. So, does the direction that you build your wind turbine actually matter? Or am I crazy? Oh, it does, because the breeze heads southeast, so it actually does depend on the direction. So I think building it in this direction actually doesn't matter, like, is actually the incorrect way? Maybe? I'm trying to figure. Oh, wait, never mind. No, it's speeding up. It's starting to speed up. Okay, maybe I was just crazy. Yeah, okay, I think I was just crazy. Yeah, I think it was just a temporary thing. I personally like fractal design cases. So I have this thing here that says light breeze heading southwest. So that's how I know what the direction the wind is moving in right now. Sun's on the verge of a mental breakdown because he's hungry. Maybe Sun should go eat food before he has a mental breakdown. There we go. Let's try to... We need to get people in bedrooms ASAP. Okay, so we're gonna need another bed here. And then I'm gonna need a bed here. And then I'm gonna need... Ooh. I need this moved over as soon as possible, so let's just wake Alana up real quick to move that. Oh, it needs a bridge. Never mind, I don't want to put that where a bridge is required. Let's put this here's fine. Just haul that over real quick. And Comrade Katya's freezing to death again. We gotta get Katya battle cloak at some point. Wait. Oh, you do have a cloak. Oh, it's just negative 92 centigrade. Oh, that explains a lot. It's just so cold. Yeah, alright. The storm has arrived. It is a cold snap too, so I guess that makes sense. So technically, in Frostpunk terms, the storm has arrived. You know, really trying to find a hide on your old Corsair 780T. Corsair 780T. Oh my gosh, yeah, that thing is a behemoth. Is this what you actively use right now, or is this what you used to use? Dude, I don't even think they make my case anymore. Oh, you can buy it for $200. Yeah, it's a little much though. Oh, they actually made a nano and a mini version of my case. That's cute. But I like that supersized version. Maybe I'm just weird. So initially I had built the this case. Like, I bought this really big case because I wanted to put a custom loop in my PC, right? And then I just never did. Like, the simple of it is, like, I just never got around to doing it, and then so I just never bothered. It's also like really annoying, like, trying to move this case around because it weighs so much. Like, if I have to do any work in the interior, it's like, it's a whole ordeal, you know, putting it onto a table, because the case alone is so it's about 16.64 kilograms, right? So 16.64 kilograms to pounds means the case alone is 36 pounds. So fully loaded, it's probably closer to, like, I don't know, 50 pounds. So it's a bit of a mess. But that's what you get for having a nice case that's big and has a big, nice glass door. TR100 is a dual chamber case. Okay, so I mean, I think a lot of cases now kind of have that dual chamber design. But especially for something like this mini chassis that you're showing off, yeah, it definitely has like the big dual chamber. And I mean, it's got the side panel. I was actually I did see some of the variants of this, and it had like the nice wood slats. I think if I ever had to build another PC, I would go smaller, and I would want to have a wood aesthetic. Like, give me the wood grain. I want to have wood grain on my PC. Let me be one of those people that has wood grain on their stuff for no other reason other than I think it looks cool. Oh, even Immortal can barely handle the weather. Oof. All right, let's get Comrade Katya that gun now. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we have the LMG, which uses 303 Brit rounds. You know what we don't have? Backpacks. People haven't been able to carry what they need because I keep forgetting to give backpacks to people. Okay, so let's see here. You can make it out of anything that's not Mastodon or blue fur should be okay, or Thrumbo fur should be fine. Nah, that should be okay. I think that'll be fine. And then, so sniper rifle's obviously still a work in progress, which given enough time it'll be ready, but it's not ready yet, so it's going to be a bit of time still. We also need to fill this thing up again, so we'll just order someone to do that. It depends. Like, I like wood grain aesthetic stuff, and Ray's well aware of that type of thing. I think for me, something about the wood grain just gives it a much more of a premium look, and it makes me want to buy it more, if that makes sense. And it's not just with PC stuff. Like, there's a lot of other stuff too where I've looked at, like, man, I would pay premium for like a wood grain version of this. Like, Audio-Technica is the company that makes my headphones, and I was really considering buying a pair of wood grain headphones that they had, and I was like, this is like a $400 purchase that I cannot justify, but it'd be kind of cute. And then also my Steam Deck, I'm looking at getting a skin for it, or like a case, and I've seen, or even a reshell, and I've seen wood reshells for it, and I'm like, I need someone to tell me that this is a very bad idea so that I don't actually do this. Because if given the choice, I probably will end up doing it. And Comrade Katya's freezing to death yet again. We gotta get these rooms This cold snap needs to end. No, trust me, I already... Ray will tell you that I bribed her, but I did bribe her technically. When I bought my camera, I was like, hey, I bought this camera. Also, what was that thing that you really wanted to buy? Oh, hey, look, I just ordered it for you. Ray as an REI, who is the wife, who technically has more power over the stream than even I do, is what she likes to tell people. Alright. Comrade Gotcha has a gun. Fantastic. You need a backpack. You are not able to carry all that. We need to get those bionic spines built. Okay, so I have the autofabs built, which is fantastic. Hi, Ray. And then do this until we have 20. Okay, we have to reorganize all this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move these auto fabricators here. Move this one here too. And then I think what I'm actually gonna do is I can probably just run the supply conduit. Because these only just need steel, right? Like we can just run the supply conduit into this room with the storage so that all the storage is kind of consolidated in one spot. That's true. I guess Ray could cause a lot of chaos. If you want to join the colony, you can join the queue. We have 2 fresh bodies that don't have names right now. Their names are Bernie and Reed. You can be a 4-year-old child or you could be a 20-year-old pacifist. Take your pick. Ranu's dying of hypothermia. Maybe we should get Ranu inside where it's nice and toasty. Or Ranu freezes to death. Ranu's already losing bits and pieces of their body. Let's get you inside. Now. Alright, Ranu. Okay, let's do this real fast. Come on, let's get Ranu inside. Ranu's not gonna have the gear to survive the frosty cold. There we go, it's fine. It's okay. You just lost 2 fingers, a nose, and an ear, and a toe. It'll be okay. We can always fix it. We have the technology. Literally, once you become an adult, we'll have the technology to do this. But you must wait until you are of age, and then we can make that relevant. I think I'm gonna need another electric boiler, honestly. Actually, I have so much electricity now. It's actually kind of crazy. The wind turbines are going overdrive. Yeah. So this perpetual fog storm actually helps me out more than anything because I can just have the wind turbines produce metric tons of electricity and never have to worry, which is pretty nice. In fact, I'm going to turn off the chem fuel power generators because we no longer need that to be outputting electricity. And then everything else is just a matter of can this thing keep running for the next 30 days uninterrupted so that we can, I don't know, upgrade to the next tier of the generator. I probably need to start producing... we can't produce any more meat-based soups, so I guess we have to just make simple soups again. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I've been meaning to make bathrooms, and now that we have access to septic tanks, it actually does matter now. So I'm gonna put down septic tanks in here, because these are very... I don't know how to describe them. They're gross, but they store all the waste matter, and that excess waste matter can still be pumped out of the septic tanks if it gets too full, and so we can keep making more chem fuel. So essentially, depending on the size of our colony, it may or may not be relevant, but it's just something to keep in mind that is somewhat useful. Also, our TPS is cratering. I may need to send some of these people off to the void. Did someone join the queue? I think we had one person, right? All right, Hawksby. We're gonna make you... you can be Bernardo Mello. Congratulations. You are a... You are an organ farm, coordinated, kind, ravenous, tidy, and a bit of a recluse. You're unable to fight, but you are pretty good at building and digging rocks up, and also being a doctor, which is convenient because we have a hospital that's being constructed right now. Also, it is negative 100 Celsius outside. Anyone who goes outside is going to freeze to death very quickly. So, you know, you don't want people going outside anymore. We just have to survive until summer. It'll be a little warmer then we can kind of try to fix everything up bit by bit. But until then... Okay, yeah, I don't think people want to be here. Let's get, Let's see here. We gotta keep adding more boilers. Let's add more radiators so that this room is nice and toasty. In fact, I'm gonna just do like a wall of them. That should be more than enough radiators to keep everything nice and warm, right? What pet emote? Who's that petting? Ratchet? Why is that like bloodied? Why is that emote bloody? That's horrifying. Oh, are they like a crazy person type of VTuber? I am gravely concerned. And now I am greatly concerned, yeah. Alright, I think we built our sniper rifle, so we're gonna go to Immortal. And we're gonna assign Immortal the sniper rifle kit. Congratulations, pick up your state-mandated sniper rifle. And may your shots land ever true, something, 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 and you kill the bad guys. In fact, actually, hold on, what I'm gonna do is for Immortal, I'm gonna actually upgrade your gun a little bit. Let's see, what do we want to do for Immortal's gun? Let's see. Attacked an extended barrel for improved effective range, and we could give it a. We could give a rapid receiver and an 8x scope and let's see. Ooh, a vertical grip? No. Let's see. A carbon grip for quicker handling. Steadier, palm swell composite for a repeatable anchor and steadier aim. Ooh, a suppressor. Recoil brake. Muzzle brake. Oh, there's so many options here. Alright, why don't we do a full choke? And a... Let's try that. Let's see what we can do with this first, and then we'll see if we want to add any more shenanigans to Immortal's gun. They are Chimera Dog. They're the opposite of the Elon's Neko project. Has Elon Musk ever announced anything about doing more cat-girl humanitarian works, or is that still just something everyone hopes that Elon will do because it'd be ha-ha funny, but he's never actually going to do it because there's no money to be made in genetically engineered cat girls? I mean, that's just the unfortunate reality. There's no money to be made in genetically engineered cat girls. Okay, so we're still making components. Okay, good. So then I can reinstall these here. I guess I could move them here, but I think I'm okay just kind of keeping it here. Reinstall this there and there. Okay, why don't you move this over there? Oh, you're too small. You're gonna freeze to death probably. We gotta get them spare backs. Where did Immortal go? Did you not get your gun? Alright, no, pick up your state-mandated sniper rifle. Thank you. Let's get you that weapon. Ranu's gonna freeze to death very quickly. I almost guarantee it. Negative 87. The cold snap is still around. Yep. I thought I ordered... Wait. Oh, shoot. I forgot to set Ranu to stay in the warm zones. That's why Ranu was freezing to death. Whoops. Yeah. Well, at least we know what was causing Ranu to be freezing. And we have solved it, kind of, maybe, a little bit, possibly. Okay, so what else do I need to get this running? I need glass, steel, and gold. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build one more for steel, glass steel, and gold. Okay, so then get this one for steel, gold, and glass steel. And now we should have that solved. Yeah, it's incredibly cold. It's very rough. It's cold snap with Ice Age on a very cold planet. So that's why it's like frozen. Immortal demands an age reversal. Well, maybe you're the wrong ideology because we're not doing that. You don't need that. Why is everyone just sad? Let's let them go back to bed. It's getting a little ridiculous. They don't wanna rest. Yeah, it's just more rice soup. Just everyone's gonna eat kanji for the foreseeable future because there's nothing else that they can consume. If there was meat, this might be a little... Oh my gosh, if there was meat, this would be a little better, but there's no meat. Like, even Alana's gear's okay for handling this weather. Some people are okay. I think mostly it's the lack of the hat, but even with the cape, like, you can see Havel struggling. And I don't really know how to make it any better. I think it might just be the quality, or the fact that it's a muskox wool and blue fur versus like a blue fur. This one only has up to 40C. Muskox, I guess, has up to 60C. So I guess if we just kill more muskoxes, this would be a little better. I also need to run heat pipes through like everything here, which requires bricks that we don't have because making bricks is difficult. And look at that, Comrade Katya's got that hypothermia. Maybe we should put Comrade Katya in that bed and not here. We didn't get these radiators built yet, which is annoying. In fact, I may need to just order a builder to quickly see if we can slap one out. We do have the materials for this. It's just gonna take some time. The question is, will Comrade Katya survive, or will Comrade Katya freeze to death in this freezing cold room? I could build normal heaters, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay, I've had an idea. Why don't we take just carry, and we're just gonna drop Comrade Katya off here. Put him in that put her in that sleeping spot. It'll be fine. Okay, then we're gonna have you quickly. I don't know. Have someone will tend. We just need to survive until the cold snap ends and summer returns, and then it'll be like -30, and then it's a little more survivable. We actually have enough steel that I probably should start working on the second hydroponics basin now. We actually have a lot of steel. Okay, so here's our auto fabrication setup. The only thing that's missing is the plasteel, which I think is not actually hooked up to the supply grid. Of course it's not. Of course it's not connected. Why would it ever be connected? Also, that cargo pod was full of oranges, which is actually food. So if we can get someone to run over there to grab it, it'll be great. Otherwise, I'm not particularly required to. Also, can I have someone finish building this stupid wall? That wall's been, like, unfinished, and people are gonna walk through that, and then we're all gonna die. So I'd like that slapped out as quickly as possible. Alright, so here's Ray making gun parts. Okay, so what did we actually make? We made an extended barrel. Where are you taking this? Where'd it go? Okay, so the way this works is I can take Immortal here, right? And I'm gonna have Immortal pick up this extended barrel. And look at what I can do. It's kind of neat. Because I like games where you can customize weapons, even if it's completely unnecessary, because it just feels cool to do, right? So what we can do now is, if I have Immortal pick up this extended barrel. Okay. Then I can have Immortal go to the weapon panel. And... okay, so we got an 8x scope, but I can now add an extended barrel, and it'll actually change the stats. In this case, the range of this weapon goes from 83 to 95 tiles, which seems excessive. Also, I can rename the gun if for some reason we really wanted to rename the gun. So, Immortal's range is now more or less the whole map, I think, at this point. I don't think it even wants to draw whatever that range is, so we can presume Immortal's gun range has reached the edges of the world. And if we add more weapons, obviously that'll be more options too, so lots of different shenanigans that you can do. I guess I need to start hauling these slate chunks over. 126 is insane. Let's go haul as much as we can. Also, there's another gun part. Let's add that on too. Let's add the rapid receiver. So that'll be under... oh, it might not be compatible. Here it is. Okay, so this will... interesting. Okay, so it seems like the rapid receiver doesn't actually do anything here. Rapid receiver should allow you to fire more quickly. So it might reduce the cooldown of the gun, which... it doesn't seem like it, but I'll just throw it on there anyways, because it's kind of cool. Okay, cool. And then obviously we'll just add whatever else is being added. We already have an 8x scope, but I can add the 8x scope to, for example, maybe Steve or Son's weapon, and that'll be fine. Okay. Oh, hey, look. The hospital is now warm. It's 20 centigrade, which means it's actually usable. Now the only thing we gotta do is give it a proper floor that's not gonna, you know, kill everyone. So we'll see if we can add a sterile floor. Oh, that's a lot of silver that I can't afford. 1,700 silver for sterile floors all around. We'll try it. We can't afford it yet, but given enough time, we'll have enough silver for it. God, look at all that material that we need. And we probably need to start making more concrete mix as well, but slate blocks are more important until we can get all this set up. Get another bed in here, for example. That'll be another bedroom. And some of these are a lot more cramped than others, but that's okay. We gotta also run heating pipes in here as well, because it's gonna be a frozen tundra otherwise. We'll put one here. I think I can put one here. And then we'll put one at the foot of the bed. And then each of these should be feeding into their own bathrooms. And then we have to actually build out the bathrooms that I keep telling myself I'm gonna build because I kind of kept putting it off for so long. Because right now, this entire colony is just using these 2 toilets. It's not comfortable. Okay, so I can move 3 people out of here, which is not enough. I need way more beds, and I'm gonna need way more food. Yeah, this colony's not gonna survive unless I can fix the food problem. Alright, well, I think we've made some pretty good progress. What do you think? So, the hospital's been built. It just needs light and a little bit more, but other than that, the hospital's fully functional. We have, obviously, our food supply, larder stockpile has increased significantly. And we're now equipping people with actual firearms. Now we need to get some grenades to deal with the things, and maybe smoke bombs, and also a way to deal with long-range engagements that aren't going to get our bunkers immediately destroyed, because that was really stupid that they just died instantly. So the next goal is obviously we're going to get rid of these wind turbines here, and we're going to add we'll try to get rid of this node inside of here as well, so we can kind of move on. And then we'll try to see what we'll do from there. What do you think so far of our little winter adventure? I think next time also we'll be able to get the wood-fired arc fully upgraded and see where that takes us. But until tomorrow. So, tomorrow I will be doing Xenonauts 2. We'll continue our current run, and we'll see where it goes, considering I don't know what else is going on, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it greatly. I don't know who to raid. Who's alive at this hour? Let's see. We'll raid Netto. Netto's a good lass. Alright, comrades, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good night, everyone, and I shall return on the morrow. If you still wanted to join the XCOM run, you're free to join Discord and post your character request, and I will add it whenever I find the opportunity to do so. Okay? So, until then, comrades, good night, rest well, and I am totally not going to be playing on my Steam Deck in bed or something for the next hour or so. Good night, thanks for swinging by, and may the great saga of the Winter Wonderland Frostpunk verse continue evermore. It's actually it's turning out nice, I think. All right. Oh, okay. Here, do your replacement. Okay, now I'm gonna press the raid button. Say hi to Netto. She's a good lass. Playing Minecraft, I guess.